Da, 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 da. Ba-da, ba-da,
Beautiful opera.
Three guys and a bear. Time to talk football. Dun, dun, dun.
How long can he hold
He's
it?
still going. Good God.
Oh, there it goes.
There it is. I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that threw me off a little.
Football.
Football.
Good football. Finally.
Finally,
Well,
It only
You know,
some
Well,
better football than what we've
better
experienced.
football.
like I'm a little sour.
That's true. If you're Rob, you probably didn't get to watch. Very. Yeah. So we had football nonetheless. So we got our news to start things off here.
There's
First,
one little big news. Big news.
Little big news.
well, we've got
Little big-
we've got some.
It's like the little big one.
news. So first thing we just saw is that Kyler Murray is activated.
No.
Oh shit!
Kyler Murray is activated and ready to go. So
Hello, Commander.
Welcome back,
That's something.
Kyler Murray.
Yep.
You don't have to deal with what was the old coach's name?
Stinky
yeah, it was
Stinky-
Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff
Cliff
Kingsbury.
He's
Yeah.
coaching a high school right now, I believe.
High school?
Oh,
Yeah, I think he didn't. Or wait, no, maybe I'm wrong. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up.
I thought I saw him on a college field at one point. So, and
He
I
might
was
be
like,
a coordinator.
Yeah, he might be a
The
The
coordinator.
only game I watched was USC Washington. So
Ah, right. Okay, that's the thing. He is a senior offensive analyst and QB coach at USC. So, not,
so I did see him. I was like, I know that guy.
yeah, and it's like some, right. He's an offensive analyst. I was reading about people talking about this. He's an offensive analyst because the Cardinals still pay him. So if he becomes a coordinator, then the school would pick up the rest of the contract. But because he's an analyst, he gets
Genius.
Yeah,
I love when you can just ignore the rules and make up shit, and you're good.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm all for it.
We also had the big news of the Rams releasing Brett Rippon and signing
Wow.
Carson Wentz.
He's
no.
back.
He is back.
Dude,
I will say, if you had to watch Brett Rippon against the Packers, you would also
There's-
cut him.
There's a reason I locked the Packers last week.
That was it was rough watching them, and I was watching the Packers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
they've been going pretty aggressive with their GMing
Yeah,
lately,
they
right? Like
cut the
Brett
kicker.
Maher he has
Yeah.
one bad game, and he's like, "You're out. Get
Get
out of
outta
here.
here."
Get him outta here.
Brett Rippon has one bad game, and he's just
Poor
like,
Matthew Stafford cannot stay healthy.
Yeah.
Like, I keep saying, like, I
Yeah.
know he's like not super old, but it might be time, man. You keep dying back there.
yeah. How
Uh,
old is he now? Is he like
36?
Oh, he's not
Yeah.
that old.
I said he wasn't that old.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see what happens. I mean, he remember, this is a guy who had a very long Ironman streak, so it might just be he's in a bad string of luck with
Also,
injuries.
let's not be fooled by Tom Brady. 36 is kind
True.
of old.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
yeah,
most
for-
normal people in the NFL.
yeah, for a lot of QBs, that's definitely But I mean,
Um,
it's getting older too.
Yeah.
Generally, the average age. So
yeah. Blake Martinez, former Giant and Packer, and Pokemon card guy, is signing with the Panthers. Cool.
nice.
The Colts have worked out Sammy Watkins. Cool.
Wow.
Oh, whatever happened to him?
Yeah, is he a free agent? I mean, there's a couple of people that are in free agency.
Sammy
right now that you're
Watkins,
like,
I learned from watching him play a third of the Packer games last year,
yeah, I
does not
remember.
know how to run a route in football. He really
guy-
doesn't. And
rough.
Jamar Chase came down really hard in that football game. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Mm.
Yeah, he hit his head or something, right?
He landed on his back, or like his hip.
Oh
or
yeah,
back.
they had like a heater on his hip or some shit.
Yeah, because
like,
he went
lower
up
back.
to catch it and then he got it, or he dropped it, but he came down super hard and just like full on like doink. And then Chris Collinsworth was like, "Nah, I've done that a time or two in my day.
Here's
And
a
let
guy.
me tell you something. You don't want to talk to him when he wakes up in the morning. He's not gonna want to do anything." He literally just kept saying that. He said it 3 times. He's like, when he gets up in the morning, he's gonna feel that one. I was like, I get it, Chris Collins. He landed full force on his hip from being in the air.
But man, when he wakes up in the morning, though.
But when he wakes up, Jamar Chase about that injury said, "quote I'm alive. That's the best thing right now." So that's
yeah,
he's definitely not doing too well.
yeah, that's shit.
Yep. And top tier running back James Robinson, former Jet, Jaguar, and Packer great after 2 weeks is released from the Packers. So I think he might be done.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, the Jets might pick him up. You know
yeah,
how the Jets are.
that's true. And then bad news for Cam Akers. He has a torn Achilles, who suffered a torn Achilles in 2021. And so he's torn it again.
Well, he tore his
Same
other
one.
one.
Oh, he tore his
Oh,
other
it's the other one.
The other one.
That's rough.
Insane. Yeah, Vikings fans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my god, I didn't even
Like
realize.
Jesus Christ, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Gone
Kirk.
for most of the season, but coming back, I think, in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then Kirk Cousins for the rest of the season, and then Cam Akers for the rest of the season, potentially the rest of time. Like, what?
I don't even know what the Vikings curse is, but I know that they're cursed.
It's sadness. It's the
It is
essence of
sadness, that's true.
despair.
How many? It also feels like there's so many Achilles this year. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just more prevalent or more in the spotlight because of
There's
Aaron
an
Rodgers.
Achilles ghost.
yeah, you know, could be Achilles ghosts.
One of those
Yeah.
Achilles ghosts.
Because there
you
might
know?
be, I know there's been Achilles in the past, but I think because of Aaron Rodgers, now everybody's like, an Achilles.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's
I wanna
Does it
snap
scream
mine
like
too.
Leonardo DiCaprio. oh.
It's that's actually a thing, like a, what do you call it, when you have something so you notice it more when it happens.
The something effect.
Bader-Meinhof.
Yeah, there's some effect.
Bader-Meinhof.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't need any beer right now, Rob. I'm good.
It's a Bader-Meinhof.
Speaking of which, Giants confirm Daniel Jones' season is over with a torn ACL.
Yeah, that's
One
right.
of those ACL ghosts.
Yeah, that is. Daniel Jones he's like Andrew Luck, but worse. Like,
Well, that's you could say
Well,
that I'm like Andrew Luck, but worse.
well, in terms of
Insanity.
Andrew Luck would get injured all the time, but he'd like, be awesome.
No,
so-
it should the Giants should be like arrested for being allowed to put living human beings behind that offensive line. Like there
Yeah.
should be someone needs to see jail for that.
I'm
It's
legit
not
worried
okay.
for Danny DeVito back there next week. That's gonna be rough.
It's like everyone is dying back there. Tyrod
Yeah.
Taylor, Daniel Jones, like it's just I give up. Concede the season. I
Yeah.
feel like you'd have a better outcome. Like we're talking about Brian Dable going from coach of the year to hot
Yeah.
seat in one season.
insane.
That's crazy.
I mean, he can't possibly. They're not gonna.
I think
They're
they
not
just
gonna fire
overperformed
him,
last
right?
year.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
they-
they definitely did, but
Mega
Yeah.
overperformed, and then we're lucky enough to play the cursed franchise in the playoffs.
Yep.
yeah.
So that's and then obviously we had the news from last week that we just missed, which was the
Oh,
Raiders
yeah.
fired
right, yeah.
Josh McDaniels.
We recorded
I'm so
just
happy.
before it happened.
Yeah.
too. Like
Literally,
they,
Literally, they
that
announced it like
night.
midnight. Yeah.
yeah.
Which man, thank God.
I have never seen. I mean, we'll talk about the game, but I've never seen the demeanor of a team like it's like a disease was removed from them. Like they were cured of a horrible parasite.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
They were like the next day, they were like, they're playing ping pong. They're like having fun in the locker room.
Well, did you guys read? Apparently, they had like an open like vent session or something.
Really?
And they apparently were all just screaming at him, and they quote unquote broke him.
Yep.
Oh, geez. Well,
Like he
fuck.
was that bad.
Yeah. And they said they did that. And the worst part, I don't even know if this was related to it. I think it was different, but they were all talking about like getting motivated for the game. And then Antonio Pierce, who's the new head coach, was just like, yeah, you know what? It's like when the Patriots lost the Super Bowl to the Giants. Like that Giants team was just resilient. They kept going. And apparently Josh McDaniels was like, can we please not bring up Patriots history? Like it was an actual meme. Like what? It's so and yeah, so man, that is.
Well, hey, at least I don't have to pay him tens of millions of dollars over the. Oh no!
I mean, to be fair, I would pay him to leave.
Yeah, like, I mean that I did see someone. There was like a tweet where it was like, imagine being so bad at your job that someone will pay you millions of dollars to not do it.
You think
that's essentially what's happening here?
Yeah.
Do you think that people will stop hiring Patriot coaches?
No.
All right.
I mean, after this season, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anybody's going to be poaching from the Patriots coaching staff.
You telling me no one wants to hire Bill O'Brien again?
Oh man.
Honestly, I would think that Josh McDaniels goes back to the Patriots again, right? Like,
yeah, he probably does. They need offensive coordinators. Like, bring him back.
Yeah, I mean, like otherwise he can just go. He could probably go to his pick of schools anywhere in the in NCAA and get like, you know, a massive contract. So
yeah, I don't know if
maybe he does that.
If he keeps making money from his current one while he does that. I don't know if there's like some contract.
Oh, it might be it might be a similar thing to the Kingsbury situation.
Yeah. So maybe he just chills for a while and then makes people forget how bad he is, and then he's just like, I'm here, and then they're just like, oh, he's a guy. The New York Jets hired Josh McDaniels.
Oh, please don't put that evil into the world.
Yeah, I shouldn't do that. Sorry.
Don't do it.
Before we get to the games, this is not really news, but it's something I wanted to bring up because it pissed me off as I was watching a college football game this week. I was very bored. I don't like college football, but I was like, you know what? My parents are actually at this game, so I'm gonna see if I'll watch the end of it and see if like I can see them in the crowd or something. But it was the USC Washington game, and there's like a pivotal like third or fourth down, very important at like towards the end of the game, and it's very close, right? And you're like, oh, here we go, like we're rolling on the field, like, and I think I saw it from my angle, and I was like, that it looks like he made the first down, but they called it short, and I was like, I think he made that, and then they showed this camera angle, brothers. Let me tell you how frustrating it was to see the perfect camera angle. They had a camera set up like it looked like it was in a pylon on like the chains, where like perfectly centered, looking straight on. It had like a kind of like a fisheye-ish angle lens where like it just had perfect view of everything. And then they put like a line, like a little red line from where the first down marker was to the top of the screen. And then they had the ball, and they're like, okay, there's the ball, and here's our little line. And it was perfect. It was like, wow, we know exactly where the ball is. This camera angle, I've never seen it before. Even the announcers were like, I've never seen this before. Like, this camera angle is amazing. And I was like, you guys don't know about this? Why aren't we using this in every game? It was perfect. I don't understand. Anyone who watched USC Washington knows what I'm talking about. That camera angle should be awarded like an award. And we need that in the NFL for every
Best
fucking play.
Angle.
Yeah.
I wanted to say I actually saw a post. It wasn't even on the NFL. It was somewhere else about the pylons, the NFL pylons, because there is so much tech jammed inside the pylons right now that they actually have fans in them. So if you look at the back of the pylons, there are two circles where they have like little computer fans in each pylon.
That is very funny, considering you can blow the shit out of them up with a dude diving. Like,
yeah, no, apparently there's like safety concerns, and they're made of like paper thin material and shit. But anyway, I saw that post, and I'll tell you, it made me very angry because they have a bunch of tech inside the pylons. You'd think that maybe they would decide to put, I don't know, a fucking camera in there.
Nope, can't do that.
You know, I mean,
I saw they have two pylons now. Have you guys seen that? At least in some of the games.
College
They have the
football
pylon.
is like amazingly ahead of the NFL. Yeah, continue.
I mean that's kind of part of it, though. In fairness, they're kind of like their double A league in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to mention that I cannot believe that we have that technology, and that's the first time I've ever seen that camera angle with the little red line. Unreal.
Is it a laser? Is that what it?
No, it was like a graphic they overlaid on the
Oh,
camera.
okay, all right.
And it was really more the camera angle itself. It looked like they had a camera in like the chain, the actual chain marker. Like that's where it felt like the camera was.
Okay.
Obviously, I can't see where it is because we're looking through the camera, but
Right.
that's what it felt like, and it was perfect. There was no one standing in front of it, and it showed exactly what we needed to see. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Low to the ground too, so you could actually you weren't like looking down over a bunch of fucking helmets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be great if we could just, get a little college football style innovation into the NFL.
Yeah.
Be nice.
How about some drones? Fly some drones up over there.
I would
you know
take
what I mean?
literally a 1970s robot that could like look out and just see some like basic ass shit. So we had football games.
Football.
Starting with the Steelers Titans. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look, what do I even say anymore with this fucking team? I don't know. I don't know. We didn't do.
I say that you should believe more in Mike Tomlin because he's got something.
Here's the thing. If we would have lost this game, I would have ranted more about this, but I'm still very upset. And I just remembered this sequence that happened. Okay.
Right.
The Titans are backed up. Okay. They're backed up like at their 5-yard line.
Yep.
TJ Watt is going sicko mode, and the Titans O-line has been injured, and there's a guy defending TJ who cannot do it. I don't mean that he's doing a bad job. I mean, he literally could not stop TJ
Yeah.
no matter what. First play, holding call. Second play, holding call. Like he literally can't stop him. And so it's like third and like a billion. It's like, again, we're at like the Titans 3 or 4 yard line or something. And it's just like, okay, like this is gonna be a safety. Like TJ, they can't stop him. And then what do? We drop TJ into coverage.
Joe Barry?
We dropped him into coverage and rushed like 3. And then somehow we also drop our Holcomb, our other linebacker, into coverage on fucking guess who? DeAndre Hopkins. So we rushed 3, yet somehow had a linebacker on DeAndre Hopkins. They get like 20 yards for the first down because of course they do. And Holcomb fucking gets his knee torn into 1,000 pieces and is out for the season.
That was the play that did it. I didn't even realize.
Yes, that was the play that did it. And I understand it's not like a direct, it's not like they were trying to get him injured, but like a dumbass fucking decision like that it's insane. How can you see TJ Watt literally destroying the offensive line and go, I know what to do. I'm gonna drop his ass into coverage and take him out of the play. Like, and I don't know. I'm happy we won the game, but that sequence, look, Tomlin's biggest weakness are his coordinators, and both of our coordinators suck.
Is there a reason? This isn't even just like specific, but is there a reason that whenever it's like 3rd and long, that every team just rushes 3? Because I get the premise of it, of like, oh, we'll just cover everything so they have to throw short and stop them. But it feels like more often than not, it doesn't work. Like, is there statistics backing that up, or am I just like biased here, thinking it's dumb?
I think there is a little bit. I as I've been paying more attention to football lately, I do see that like when it is like 3rd and 20 plus, that pretty much works every time. Like you almost never, no one ever gets like a 3rd and 20 anymore. Like defenses, even bad defenses, know how to stop it. It's really more of like the 3rd and 10s and the 3rd and like 12s and shit. that seem very easily like that shit does not work on that play, and they still run it on that play. They're like, okay, well, they only need 10 yards, so we're gonna put all of our DBs exactly 12 yards away from the line of scrimmage and just kind of hope that it goes well. I think that's annoying.
I think part of it is it's just like it's also logical, basically, because like if you're on 3rd and long, then it's obviously a passing down, right? Like think about how rare it is for someone to call like a draw play, unless it's like some kind of situation, right? Like they're ahead and it's, you know, they're below 2 minutes, they're trying to bleed time. So like, you know, you might as well, unless you're otherwise your better option, I feel like, would be blitzing, right?
Yeah,
because
I don't get why people don't blitz more on that.
Well, because when you're blitzing, then you have at least one less man in coverage, and if you know, then they could complete 3rd and long.
But I'd argue that if you're blitzing, it gives him less time to throw the ball, so they're not going to hit a deep play anyway, unless something goes
in theory, if
wrong.
the blitz goes through, and if they haven't dialed up, you know, the exact right route combo for a quick pass that, you know, blows you up.
Right. I guess it does. It depends on the situation. Like if you're playing a team that can't pass deep, or a team that's just bad, you know, mid to deep range passing, I don't know, like the Green Bay Packers, you probably just blitz them because they're probably not going to hit it downfield. Yeah. But then if you're playing, you know, fucking Joe Burrow, then you're not going to do that. So
yeah, no, it's weird because like so as a Jets fan, I am this is the second time I've experienced a very good defense, one under Rex Ryan and now the second one under Robert Saleh, and they're different. Like Saleh doesn't blitz almost at all. Like
dude, watching the game I mean, we'll talk about your game when we get to it, but yeah, like the Jets defense doesn't have to. They rush 4 every time.
Yeah,
and that's all
which is the
need.
best you can do, and you can get pressure on the quarterback with 4 guys.
Yeah, exactly. But like compare that to Rex, and he was super aggressive. Like he would trick people with like disguised blitzes and double disguised blitzes, and he fucked people up that way. But, you know, again, like you're saying, Saleh's defense doesn't even really need to do that. They could just do stunting and stuff on the line and get pressure. So,
but yeah, for this game, anyway, things that I learned, Will Levis is good. Like, he that's a quarterback of the future right there.
He's now the starter, by the way.
Yes, he was named starter today. Yeah. Which was funny because Mike Vrabel was like, I don't know, guys. Like, I'm not really sold yet. And it's like, shut up. Idiot. Like, good. You're really going to put Tannehill back out there? Yeah. You would be burned at the stake in Nashville. But yeah, Will Levis, like, what I was impressed with is that he was not panicking. Like, the Steelers were getting to him with 4 sacks and just a bunch of pressures and QB hurries, but he was finding receivers regardless. And that was cool to see. So I'm happy for Tennessee because I think they got a quarterback.
Yeah,
I think he's good.
Also, Joey Porter held DeAndre Hopkins to very few yards. I think there was really only like one big catch Hopkins had, and it was that one when he had a fucking linebacker on him. But otherwise, Joey Porter, awesome. Broderick Jones played, I think, at right tackle for some reason in this game, but also just was really good again. And I'm so happy we're actually playing our rookies now, the ones that we drafted to be in the team and played. That's good. That's
who would have guessed?
Yeah, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that was the thing you could do? Yep. And also, Jaylen Warren is like one of our best players on offense. He just is. It's insane that our like undrafted, I think, or I don't know, did we draft Jaylen Warren or is he undrafted? Regardless, he's so good. 8 yards per carry on 11 carries. Dude fights for every yard. He's nuts. Like, what's crazy to me is like people were shitting on Najee. Najee's also good. Yeah. He had 4.3 yards per carry on 16 carries and a touchdown. Like, he's also good. It's just Jaylen Warren, I think, is like, he's special.
He's undrafted also, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. That he is one of our best players. And I've been saying he's underrated. And I think people are starting to realize, like, wow, Jaylen Warren. Like, what I'm looking at is like when I drafted Jaylen Warren and like in our fantasy league, it was like it shows you how many people are starting him percentage wise, and it was like 1-2% or something. And I was like, well, you guys will fucking see. And now I think it's all the way up. Jaylen Warren is like he's up to 28% start rate. People, it's like, oh, Jaylen
Yeah.
Warren, wait a minute. Like, he's good, man.
Speaking of which, this last week in fantasy, very bad for many people.
I won my fantasy game.
He's actually done it.
Which means that I lost my fantasy
Yes,
game,
I beat
actually.
Robert.
Yeah, it didn't go
I see
well.
Rob got a total of 83 points.
Yep.
Not the greatest.
Did not go well. Yeah.
I played the top scoring team this week with Nerdbender, but I would have lost a couple other games, but I could. It's whatever. And then the big one too is Danny, our assistant coach from last week. That we were like, Danny, fix that team. Danny won.
What?
Yo,
I mean,
let's go.
He scored the third lowest points.
Third lowest points. But go ahead,
played
Zach
the guy
Wilson.
who's-
I actually had
Dude.
Zach Wilson get negative 3.7
That's
points.
insane. Yeah, but he played against Justin Herbert, who got 1 point.
Dude,
Wow.
and I wanted to say too, I saw his comment on the last video. I hope you didn't. I apologize if it sounded like we were attacking you. We just, and congrats, good win.
Yeah, there you go. Good win.
But also, I want to say to defend myself in my
Yep.
defeat is I said at the draft I knew week 9 was gonna be bad, and I even
true.
said, God damn it, it's against Apollo, so I'm gonna fucking lose tonight.
Hey, I am still like I got fucking Darnell Mooney. I got fucking Gus Edwards. Like I don't know who dropped Gus Edwards. I mean, I do, but I don't. But I mean, my God, is he giving me 1,000,000 points every week?
Dude, and you beat me on the waiver for that
I
one too. I'm
did.
so fucking mad about because I started Ezekiel goddamn Elliott for this game instead when I
Thank
did
you,
Gus Edwards.
Krendor, for dropping Gus Edwards.
Hey, no
He has
problem.
carried me greatly.
Listen, I mean, that's fine. I got Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler, who still did the most points on my team, and then I got A-Chan coming back for the Dolphins next week or 2 weeks.
Oh, baby.
So that's my trifecta. That's going to carry me to the playoffs. You see.
Yeah. Well, I had my 3. I had Christian McCaffrey, ETN, and Christian Kirk all out in this game. So
Yeah.
and also I have to get rid of KJ Osborne because he's on the Vikings and they're fucking cursed.
No, I don't know. You got some stuff. We'll get to.
Yeah, you got 3.7 points. That's what he got.
Yeah. Next up, we had the German game.
That's right.
Das ist sehr gut. Yeah.
Mhm.
Chiefs.
This
Dolphins.
game kind of sucked.
Yeah,
It
actually,
did.
it was like
This game
21-7.
Very sloppy. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
sloppy makes sense for Europe game,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'll be real. Like, I did not feel like either of these teams impressed me. Like, Kansas City came out to like a 21-point lead, but I'll be real. Like, the Dolphins just were like shooting themselves in the foot the whole time. I'm not being like, oh, the Chiefs should have lost this game. I think this game just should have been closer.
Yeah.
Like, as well, I don't know who would have
Well, it
won.
was a
but-
one-score game.
In fact, they could have tied it, and then they boogle-boggled the snap.
Yep, boogle boggled the snap right away. That's an official terminology. But yeah, no,
That's
like
true.
they just swapped turns. Like the whole first half, the Dolphins were like, "No, you go, no, you go." Like they were driving down the field, and then they would just stall out for no reason, like
Yeah.
penalties and just dumb shit. And then the Chiefs were like, "Okay, our turn. Now you go. Now you go." And it's just like, can you guys both be good at the same time? Because like this game kind of sucked because of that.
Oh, they had the Tyreek Hill fumble return for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was
Right,
like otherwise
right.
it was 14-14.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This was just a very sloppy game from
Yeah.
both teams.
I think the Chiefs defense is pretty good this year, right? Like I'm pretty sure.
It's definitely
It's
better
better,
than, what
than
it's
it has been. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
Yeah, so I mean that might be a factor in this, honestly. And
been. I think so.
I don't know. Like did
No,
they
I will 100% admit the Chiefs defense is better than it's been, but I do think that Miami was their own worst enemy this game for a lot of those drives.
Yeah, I can see that. Because I mean, Miami's
Yeah.
Miami still. Like, if Tyreek Hill doesn't fumble, and they probably do some I think they'd be all right. But that's it's a Germany game. They had to fly over
Yeah.
there. They're probably all like jet lag and
Yeah.
stuff.
Dude, I'm just saying NFL, well first of all NFL don't expand to Europe by just relocating 4 teams to Europe. That would be shitty. But do expand by investing a shitload of money and make an entire division out there. I'm in, dude. Yeah. I'm in. I think that would be fun.
That would be fun. And
right?
Because then you could just have a team be out there for a while. Right?
Yeah, well, if you have a whole division out there, I mean, ideally you would have a whole, like, you would have 2 divisions, so 8 teams. But just one division out there, 4 teams, you know, they can mostly play each other. They play each other each 2 times, so that's half the games.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they could travel to America, and, you know, you probably only have teams going to Europe once a year, you know?
Yeah, because then they would play all the teams out there.
Right.
And then they'd come back. And then
and it wouldn't even be everybody every year either.
Yeah, and then you'd have the Europe teams come here and play games and go back. So I mean,
you could even make it so that the playoffs can't happen in their stadiums. That would be, you know, they don't get to have home games or something. I don't know, but
that would be pretty shitty.
That would be shitty.
You do not get to play at home. Okay. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I still think you could just move the Chargers to England.
Yeah, you might as well at this point, you know.
But that game happened. Then we had the Vikings-Falcons, in which the Falcons choked away the game to Joshua Dobbs, who didn't even know his teammates or who he was throwing to at that point.
Dude, bro, I think that's underselling Josh Dobbs.
I was freaking out. I was so mad at all of you guys because it was the end of Red Zone. I was in the football chat going, "Are you guys watching?" It was like a double header. We had this game and the Texans game. I was like, "Oh my god, Josh! Oh my god, CJ! Like, are you guys what?" And I was getting fucking crickets, man.
Sorry, I was distracted. I was watching something with Jess while watching the games,
and I had to go do stuff, so I just recovered from the Packer game at that point.
Two amazing endings to both these games. But yeah, Josh Dobbs literally, like, I don't have the tweets in front of me anymore, but like they were saying that they were live translating the plays to Dobbs in the helmet like thing. Like he basically was being like, okay, this play, like the receiver's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, okay, like and he was like, okay, I got it. Like, what a fucking legend, man.
Dude, like he is a god. He is a fucking god right now. Like this is Ryan Fitzpatrick kind of situation, right? Like this is a backup, or even Geno Smith at this point, but like honestly, almost more impressive than Geno Smith because he was never a starter. And now he was suddenly thrust into the starting spotlight with the Cardinals, and then got traded to a team where there was no way that he was supposed to play. No way at all, right? He just got there. How many days before the game did he even get to the team? Because it wasn't like they did it immediately after last week, right?
It was literally he went there at the trade deadline, or it happened the trade deadline, and then I guess I don't know when he would have got there, but I have no idea. But it's still insane.
I mean, and not just like came in and did fine. He fucking had 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown.
He literally also like had an insane like 4th down rush conversion or something like in the game-winning drive. Like it was he put on a fucking show.
I will say the rushing touchdown he had was the Falcons literally just shitting themselves. I saw like 2 complete. I was like, how do you not tackle him? It's embarrassing. But that's still insane for that to happen. In fact, it's this dude has had like such a weird career. He played in Pittsburgh for 2 years.
Well, he didn't play.
He was on Pittsburgh for 2 years. Then he went to Tennessee, and I'm pretty sure he started their playoff game, right?
Oh, did he?
It was when was it?
They were in the play. They didn't make the playoffs.
I'm pretty sure he started a playoff game for. I'm like 2021 playoff, maybe. Is that it?
Last year the Jags won that division.
I could have sworn Tannehill. Maybe not. Maybe it was just he played at the end of the season to try and get them into the playoffs. That might have been what it was. I think they were in playoff contention and he played as their quarterback and he didn't do that bad. And then he goes to Arizona and he does pretty well, and now he's in Minnesota. Like he's just going all over, but like he's been doing, about as good as he can.
So according to Wikipedia, on January 2nd, this was like last season?
Yeah.
Yeah, last season. Yeah, he Dobbs was starting week 18 and they lost the game, costing them the playoff spot.
That's what it was. Okay. I knew it was something like that.
Mm.
But he was I remember he just showed up and everyone was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
The Titans are like, I don't know, just put him out there. So yeah, I mean, Josh Dobbs balling out. We'll see what happens going forward, but that's about
He's
as good.
the starter, I believe.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Well, everyone else is dead.
The Vikings are 5-4. Like,
yeah, and it's the NFC. So
and Josh Dobbs just did great, and he was doing pretty well in Arizona too.
Yeah. So here's what I don't understand about the Falcons. Okay, you had Bijan Robinson 11 carries for 51 yards, and for some reason he only had 11 carries, but he's averaging 4.6 yards a carry, and he's Bijan Robinson. Like, why are they not just feeding this dude the ball?
Yeah, they're splitting carries with Algier.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're doing. Heineke is kind of whatever.
People are saying Arthur Smith is very much hot seated right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you reminded me. I didn't mention at the end of the Steelers game, the Titans had a game-winning drive potential, and they just went, Will Levis, we know you're playing a great game. We're going to run Derrick Henry up the middle 3 times in a row and go 3 and out. That was a horrible play calling.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Also, crazy stat from this game: the Vikings had 1 penalty.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's pretty big. 1 penalty that whole game. Falcons had 8.
Bad.
So yeah, we'll see what happens going forward for the Vikings, but that's a pretty good start for the Josh Dobbs Vikings era.
God, wait, yeah, and Justin Jefferson's coming back too, right?
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
Josh Dobbs is going to get Justin Jefferson to throw to,
and Jordan Addison.
Oh, I'm excited.
Then we had another NFC North team, the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyson Bagel. 3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 220, 18 of 30. Is somehow the Saints had 4 turnovers against the Bears and still only won by a touchdown.
Yeah, the game tried to end 3 times because it was the end of the game, and then Tyson threw an interception, and then the Saints would just go 3 and out and do nothing. I think they missed a field goal at one point too, maybe.
I think they missed a field goal. It was 1 of 2 in field goals for the Saints, and then actually Bears had 5 turnovers. Oh my God, 5 turnovers. Yeah, that is that's a rough one. And the Saints are just, I don't know, they're the same. It's the same Saints.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their offense and I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be scoring so many more points with all these names that they have. But apparently their offensive coordinator is Matt Canada level bad. I don't know what his name is, but I keep hearing his name and then hearing dog shit in the same sentence. So it can't be good.
Yeah. Taysom Hill, however, ran. Or did he run? No, he caught a touchdown. He threw a touchdown. He just didn't run for a touchdown. He was literally 1 away from the trifecta. Derek Carr, 25 of 34, 211, 2 TDs. And Taysom Hill actually did run for 52 yards and 11 carries. This dude's insane. And he didn't even just catch a touchdown. He caught 4 passes for 13 yards and a touchdown.
Taysom Hill, man.
That is wild. But you look at their stats, you're oh, Derek Carr did all right. Taysom Hill's going crazy. How did they not get 40 points or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
And then the Bears, it's the Bears.
It's the Bears.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of NFC North teams, we've arrived to the Crendor Rants segment. Packers, Rams, and thank God we played the Rams this week without Matt Stafford, because that was exactly what this team needed. Just an offense with a 3rd string quarterback that can't throw the ball well, and they couldn't run the ball either. Watching Red Zone and saw this game all of 2 times the whole day.
Yeah. This was another instance of a team shooting themselves in the foot because the Packers honestly probably should have had like 40 points this game. It was so bad. Like, first up, Packers drive. We get to midfield. We're looking good. 4th and inches. We're like, you know what? Let's go for it. Like, yeah, here we go. Quarterback sneak. Got it. Oh, hold on. Offsides. Offense. I was like, what? How do you get offsides on offense? Then I remembered the Steelers did it like the other week, but they didn't even do it. So
we didn't do it.
So they showed again, and it didn't. I couldn't even see where he was offsides. I guess it was his helmet or like some lineup thing. I was like, this is the dumbest shit. Whatever. Okay. So then later in the game, 4th and inches again, quarterback sneak. We get it. Guess what? Offsides offense again. I was like, are you shitting me? It was both John Runyon Jr. or whatever his name is, the son of John Runyon. And I was just like, what is he doing? Like, how do you line up offsides on offense? How do you do it twice? And those were like drive, like we were at the midfield. Like, I guarantee you, if we get those, we're probably going to get at least a field goal minimum. And then we go out in the second half. Like, all right, here we go. Love makes a nice throw to Dontavian Wicks. He cuts up field, hits the ground, ball pops out. He like tries to get it, and instead of getting it, he just like pushes it to the defender. So an instant turnover. So that was great. Then Aaron Jones gets it. He fumbles, and then it goes right to the Rams. So that's 4 drive-killing plays that if we were playing any other team, this game's probably over. But it was the Rams, so we just stopped them and then got the ball back. And this was pretty much just practice for the Packer offense, which was great. Aside from that, we actually did pretty well. Like, aside from shooting ourselves in the foot, fumbling, penalties, Jordan Love was 20-26, 228 in the touchdown. A lot of people being like, where's the accuracy? He was actually pretty accurate this game. He had one really bad throw to Watson deep, which was underthrown. But aside from that, like, he had some really good throws. In fact, looking at the stats, second half of the game, Jordan Love was 12 of 13 for 160 and a touchdown, including some pretty good conversions on 3rd and 12, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 6, and 4th and 1. So he was looking good. Aaron Jones, guys, can you believe Aaron Jones got the football 20 times?
That is mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing. He had 73 yards and a touchdown. He did have that fumble, but it doesn't even matter. That man, so many plays this game were just like Aaron Jones. It was so nice having him back. Like, just his cuts. He was just reading the defense. He was getting out in the, like, oh my God, it was beautiful. So, I mean, overall, this was a really good win. This is the type of game where people keep being like, we beat the backup Rams quarterback. I don't care. We lost to the shitty Raiders and we lost to the Broncos. We had to win. Like, we needed a win. We got it. It felt good. It felt like progress. And that was mainly what I was happy about, is it felt like progress. Now, we play the Steelers next week.
Oh, baby.
So, that is going to be a game that we all have to watch. And
can't wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. The Packers had 8 penalties, 57 yards. Rams had 5. Rams were just, they were just terrible. We won pretty much every stat you can win in this game. It should have been a blowout, but our dumbass penalties and fumbles made it not that. But whatever, we still won 20-3. Including, actually, LaFleur actually had one of my favorite plays he's drawn up, which was the Love touchdown he threw. So he takes the snap. He looks like he's going to throw a screen to A.J. Dillon, but he doesn't. Then he turns around, and Aaron Jones is on the other side. And then he pump fakes the screen to Aaron Jones on the other side. Then he looks up the middle, and Musgrave did a block, and then he breaks free, and he's just wide open in the middle. And I was like, dude, that was a beautiful play design. I think he stole it from some other coach. I think they did it with Kittle in San Francisco or something. But either way, I love that play. So overall, it was very fun to watch a winning football game, even if it was against Brett Rippon. So
And got him fired.
Yeah. So you know what? I had a great time, and I haven't had one of those in about a month, so I'm happy. Anyway, that happened. So then we have the Commanders, Patriots.
The worst record in the AFC.
Woo.
New England Patriots.
Oh, is that true?
It is true.
That's nice. I like that.
Sam Howell is currently the most pass attempts and most passes completed in the NFL.
Wow.
Yep. And
Sam
he's second in
Howell
passing yards.
Looks good and bad at the same time, but
He does.
I mean, he's a rookie, so
Yeah.
there's something to work with.
Yeah. And he's on the Commanders, so I'm giving him all the leeway you can get. But each team had 4 penalties. The Commanders gave up 3 sacks. He's also been sacked like 80 times, 44 times, and he's still doing all right. Man, the Patriots are just garbage.
They are bad. Every week I'm like, I told you so to everyone, because
Well, think about how many how can you get past one hand? You're right.
I kicked my phone charger and my phone fell. Continue. That was the Patriots season just falling.
Can you get past counting on one hand the amount of Patriots players that you can name?
Ramondre Stevenson, Mac
Right.
Jones, Kendrick Bourne, who got injured, Ezekiel Elliott.
I forgot. Right? Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Not 5.
Gonzalez, who also got injured and is not on the team because he
don't even know who that is. So
J.C.
their
Jackson, who they traded,
draft pick.
And he hasn't done anything.
That's about it.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. So roughly 5 plus or minus 1, basically.
Yeah, and they're all like 80 years old.
Yeah.
In fact, let me check now. What do we got? They have Ty Montgomery, former hated Packer. They have Lawrence Guy. They have Jabril Peppers. Remember him?
Mike Gesicki as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, no wonder this team's bad.
Yeah, and I'll be real. Like, Mac Jones is not very good.
Yeah,
he's just not.
Yeah.
That whole draft class is pretty bad.
He had a wide open receiver this game and just whiffed.
Yeah, it's the Patriots are probably taking a quarterback in the draft this year. Honestly,
I don't know, man.
Where are they?
It's not so much that I think they should. I just don't know if they will.
Yeah, they're picking 5th. What? Well, okay, hold on. I gotta look up over the cap.
Belichick is the exact kind of guy I would think to be like, I trust Mac Jones. We just need to, get some players around him.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know why he sounds like Richard Nixon. But
Belichick's also the type of guy to just draft a quarterback in the first round that's supposed to go in the 4th round.
So this is basically next year would be Mac Jones's 4th year. So that would be the year that they could have an option. So they could get a new QB now. However, they would be still on the hook for about $5 million with Mac Jones because the rookie contracts are guaranteed. Yeah, I mean,
I'd say maybe they take a 3rd round quarterback or something. That sounds like more of a
I could see that
thing they'd do.
I mean, don't they have Zappy, or do they fire Zappy?
I think he's on the practice squad, or I don't know what's going on. I don't think they're using him anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not going to, especially in the AFC. It's gonna be a while, I think, before Patriots are looking and relevant again. Because the thing is with the Patriots, they have tried to just be a relevant team, which is what I thought they were gonna be. Because they're like, oh, we'll just go get some veterans. They'll know how to win at least 6-7 games, which is I thought they were gonna do. But I didn't realize how bad some of those veterans are. They're getting really washed up.
Yeah.
So,
and the other thing I'll say is, even though Mac Jones isn't that great, I don't think he's the worst part of the Patriots. I just don't think they have anything at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think that's why they're so like far behind other teams. Like at least when the Packers are bad, I'm like, oh, all these players are in their like first and second year, so like I don't give a shit.
Right.
But like when the Patriots are bad, it's like, well, there's Juju and Ezekiel Elliott and Jalen Reagor and all these favorites. Like, what are they doing? Like they literally should just like sell and just start drafting at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's bad. I guess Ramondre Stevenson's good. He's like
he had that cool touchdown in this game.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably one of the lone bright spots he got.
Yeah.
It's rough. But I really don't care. So it's the Patriots. Like nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
The amount that they've been winning. It's like how nobody cares the Packers are bad now. But, I still got hope. I'm still feeling good. And on the other side, hey, look at the Commanders. They're actually only a game out of the wild card spot right now.
Yeah. Game under 500.
Yeah.
Game under 500,
Again,
Sam Howell,
Yeah. I mean, if you take a look at the NFC, you have the Cardinals, who, unless Kyler Murray is like an MVP coming out the gate, are doing nothing. The Panthers are going nowhere. Bears going nowhere. Giants are definitely going nowhere. The Rams are starting Carson Wentz. The Packers are, The Buccaneers are now 3-5, although they're at least somewhat okay. Then
they're
Falcons, Falcons, Commanders, Vikings, and then after that, then you have like Eagles, Lions, 49ers, Saints, Seahawks, Cowboys, which are clearly like the better teams, but even like Seahawks, Saints are kind of just hanging around. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but they're still better than a lot of the other NFC teams. It's just there's a lot of garbage in the NFC. Well, if you look at the AFC, it's like there's all the good teams. You got like Chiefs, Ravens, Jaguars, Dolphins, Steelers, Browns, Bengals, and then on the bubble you have Bills, who wouldn't even be in the playoffs if it started today.
That's wild.
Texans are now 4-4, like actually closing in on a playoff spot. The Chargers at 4-4, the Jets at 4-4. And then after that, you have Colts, Raiders at both 4-5, who I think at this point, the Josh McDaniels-less Raiders can actually do something now.
Yeah, probably.
The Colts are okay. The Titans even at 3-5, and the Broncos.
You have 4 teams in the NFC who are already essentially eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
You have Bears, Cardinals, Panthers, Giants are just done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You literally, the Patriots are the only AFC team in that category.
Yeah. Like even the Broncos, I don't think they're going to be going to the playoffs, but they're still like, they beat the Chiefs. So that's like something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's, but that was that game. Then we had Seahawks Ravens, which, whoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out if you give up 217 rushing yards, you're probably going to lose the game.
No, I don't think that's it.
If you lose time of possession by 40 minutes to 20 minutes,
wow,
probably going to lose the game.
20. There's 1956.
Yeah.
Oh,
When one team runs 75 plays and the other team runs 47.
Wow.
And when one team has 29 first downs and you have 6, you are going to lose the game.
Yeah.
Well, don't speak so soon because we haven't gotten to Monday night yet.
True. Unless you're a certain other team. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what voodoo magic Lamar Jackson has against the NFC teams, but he wins against them and wins by a lot.
I just love how they're like, Lamar Jackson defeating these NFC teams. Like, bro, his running backs just ran for like 40. 4 of them ran for at least 40 yards, and one ran for 138 in the touchdown.
Who the fuck is Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah.
They had Keaton Mitchell, 138 in the touchdown. Lamar ran for 60. Gus Edwards, 52, 2 touchdowns. And Justice Hill ran for 40. To the point where then they brought in Tyler Huntley at the end of the game because they're like, yeah, this is over. Man, that was... The Seahawks were just decimated. Like, wow.
Annihilated.
It was not Geno season.
No, not at all.
It was not Geno season.
Yeah. Well, and also, important to note, again, like with Lamar, even though he, clearly it was just the running attack that won the game, but like he was 21 of 26 for 187. He just didn't, they didn't They were just running all over him. What did
Yeah.
they
It
They
was
didn't need to.
look, this you guys know me. I don't like the Ravens, but
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to stomach some vomit here even saying this. Last week it was unacceptable the Ravens were in the top 5. Unacceptable. This week it makes complete sense that they would be in the top 5. They're gonna be in the top 3.
Yeah.
I could see them. I mean, they're gonna be 2 is my guess.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
as
gonna
well.
be like Eagles Ravens. It's gonna be 2 birds at the top is my guess.
Yeah.
But
Bird
I
battle.
agree. Bird
bird
battle.
battle.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, one victory against a good team to me is an outlier. I mean, for fuck's sake, the Broncos smashed the Chiefs. And
Yeah.
how many people here think the Broncos are the better team?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
2 in a row, or not 2 in a row, but 2 is starting to get some consistency there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely they're building that identity of like they play defense, they run the ball, and then when they have to pass, they pass it, which really is the Ravens way.
You need to be careful though. If you get any better than this, the universe is gonna do what it always does, and you're gonna get like 7 different ACL tears in the span of 3 weeks.
Oh, 100%.
You got do not push this envelope, all right?
I will say, I mean, I think this might be the best Ravens team since the Ray Lewis days.
Well, they finally
pretty
have
good.
all the pieces after after being either A, injured every year, or B, not having any wide receivers.
Yeah.
The thing was like even last year they were all right, and then he got injured at the end of the season, and then Lamar Jackson couldn't play in the playoff game, and then they lost. All right.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, the Ravens. We'll see what happens at the end of the season if Lamar Jackson is still healthy and their team is healthy. But yeah, for now they're looking pretty good. And speaking of looking pretty good, the Houston Texans.
Oh my God. Were you guys able to catch the replay of this one?
I did see the end of this game. CJ Stroud is insane. Like
He
this
is
dude's
very good.
looking like Patrick Mahomes at this point.
This dude's in like the MVP discussion, not just the rookie of the
Yeah.
year discussion.
Yeah.
Like, what a freak. This is not a good team. Name me a Texans wide receiver. Name me one.
Tank Dell. I know
Tank
him.
Dell.
Tank Dell, yeah.
That's all I got.
Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, Noah Brown all had over 100 yards receiving.
Yep.
Who are these dudes?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
This is insane.
And keep in mind that Todd Bowles is the coach of the Buccaneers, so big defensive.
This is
guy.
a good defense. This is a reasonable. I'm not gonna say it's great, but this is a reasonably good defense. And CJ Stroud just fucking smeared his nuts all over him.
Yeah, just annihilated him.
It's starting to look like the Panthers made the wrong choice up there.
Dude, everyone said Lovie Smith was an idiot for winning that game. Brother, he had the secret sauce for winning that game, man.
Like, my God, it's insane. Like, he's at 14 touchdowns, 1 interception this season, 2,200 yards.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because like Baker Mayfield had a decent game.
Yeah.
Like he did his job.
Did all right.
The Bucks scored 37, dude. Like that's in pretty much every game that you play. Like if you score 37, you must have like a 90+% win rate, right?
100%.
Like, that's 37 is absurd to lose.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the Texans, like, they're probably not going to win the division because I think the Jaguars will, but like they could be a wild card team.
Yeah,
like straight up.
CJ Stroud, he's playing like this.
Yeah.
I mean, he's rookie of the year is already gone. Like he's got it
for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
He definitely.
Unless Will Levis somehow comes out of, but I mean, even at this point, I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't have time. Like, CJ Stroud. I mean, he broke the record for rookie passing yards in a game with 470. Like, and 5. He didn't have a lot of yards. He had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Good God.
That's insane.
And then like, I mean, look, I don't know. I'm trying to remember like how many. I think the Texans had like 40 seconds left at the end of the game. I'm gonna scroll through the highlights here and see. They had 46 seconds on the clock when Tampa Bay scored the go-ahead touchdown, and they are at the 25-yard line. Like, First off, another great example of prevent defense being completely ass.
Yeah.
Because like here, I'm narrating. I'm watching the replays right now. First play, there's no Tampa Bay Buccaneer defender underneath the 40-yard line, and the Houston has 2 timeouts, so he just easily dumps it off for like 12 yards and gets a free first down, takes a timeout. That's terrible. Like, okay. And then it's 2nd and 4, so something went fucking wrong, and the Houston used the other timeout. But then second play, I think this is the one where, just right in the middle of the field, no one's there, gets another fucking like 15 to 20 yards. They run and spike the ball. Like, already Houston's at the 45-yard line, and the Bucks gave them this. Like, this was not an accident. They said, here you go. You can have these yards right here. Like, already they've got 3 shots to the end zone from like the 45-yard line. That's obviously a lot, but okay, like you've already given up way too much with this prevent shit, and this is not a Bucks only thing. Every team does this.
Yeah.
And then this play, we have CJ Stroud just nailing, like, you're playing prevent, but you let a wide receiver get to the 15-yard line out of bounds. Like, what are you doing? What is the point of prevent? It's not stopping the middle. It's not stopping the sideline. It's not stopping anything.
Yeah.
Kudos to CJ Stroud, though. Beautiful fucking throw.
Yeah.
But this is another indictment on prevent defense. Like, as good as Stroud is, this should never happen if you just play normal fucking defense. Just play normal defense.
Yeah. And you would think of like all people know that, like a guy who's been in the NFL for years, like Todd Bowles, it's a defensive mind, would be like, hey guys, maybe we shift this up. It seems like it's not working. Blitz or do something else, but nope.
Yeah. Nope. I mean, I will say, I'll say what the logic of the prevent defense is, which is to
prevent.
Well, it's to prevent like long bombs to the end zone.
Yeah,
that's what it prevents.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, but like it didn't though. They got exactly that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, I agree with you, but I'm saying here's the logic of the coaches, right? Is you give them, typically you're playing it at the end of the game when every second matters. So you give up you give up the flats, you give up the middle of the field, because then they catch the ball and stay in bounds and the clock runs, right? And each play takes at least about 11 seconds, right? Even as fast as you can go, it takes about 11 seconds to get to the line, even if you're going to spike it.
Yeah.
So,
well, here's the problem. They had 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's the idea to make them use it, but
yeah.
Well, they're gonna use those times. But my problem is if a team has timeouts and they have more than 30 seconds left, you cannot open up the middle of the field, because those plays only take like 5 seconds, and you go bam 12 yards timeout, bam 15 yards timeout. You're already in midfield. You already are in Hail Mary range. You've already given them the tools to win the game in 2 plays.
Yeah, I agree.
It's insane that this is a normal thing in this league.
Yeah.
I do not get it. It's not like teams are bombing the ball down the field normally, right? Like if there was some big deep ball threat, like why isn't every team just throwing the ball 50 yards downfield every single play?
Well,
if that's such a big thing that we have to defend at the end of the game.
I mean, at that point though, that's when they're gonna throw.
But my point
wall,
is you're already defending that. Your defense already defends against that. Otherwise, you'd be giving up that play of the whole game.
Yeah, there has to be a defensive coordinator that figures out something.
Just
anything else that's like, hey, this might be a better way to do this, and still not give up a big play. Like there has to be something.
I mean, I think even making it so that you don't go into prevent while they have timeouts.
Yeah,
would
like
make
the timeout
sense.
thing is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because if they, like Apollo was saying, that a quick completion can be way less than 11 seconds of them running up to the line if they've got a timeout.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I think it's stupid. I always hate whenever I see my team going into it.
It's every team. Every team in the league does it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
But I don't want to take away from CJ Stroud. Like he did what he needed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he had to do the completions. I mean, it is wild what he is doing right now. I wonder, he's not on pace to break the touchdown record for a rookie, right? Like, I think,
I don't
does
know. Getting
RG3 still have that?
5 TDs definitely helps.
Ooh, we talking about my main man, CJ Stroud? I've been telling y'all all year long, dude, this kid is legit.
He's really good. Well, I was just asking, Baird, do you know? He's not on pace to break the rookie TD record, though, right?
We have
Hold on.
stats.
Stat truck.
Stat truck.
Burp, burp.
So here it is. We have a tie at number 10 with Jim Plunkett and Marcus Mariota at 19. Then and Mike Glennon. Then at number 7, we have a tie between RG3 with 20 and Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Pretty good company there. Then we have, and Andy Dalton, also 20. Then at number 5, we have a tie between 21 touchdowns with Cam Newton and Derek Carr.
Wow.
Yep. Then we have number 4, Jameis Winston, 22.
I knew he was
Right.
Yep.
We can assume he had 22 interceptions that season as well.
Yep.
Ooh, you know who else had 22 in their rookie season? MacBook Jones, baby.
MacBook Jones, baby.
Number 3, Andrew Luck at 23. And then number 1 is a tie between Russell Wilson at 26 touchdowns and Peyton Manning.
Yeah. So
I
he
think
could.
That might be outdated. I'm looking on StatMuse, and they say that Justin Herbert in 2020 had 31.
Oh, well, this is NFL.com, so it's definitely outdated.
Yeah, so it's definitely wrong. Yeah.
That's what's outdated. So there you go, Justin Herbert. It's the actual
Number 1 at 31. Okay, so yeah, that would be pretty hard to beat, I think, for Stroud at this point.
Well,
It's
I
possible.
It's possible, yeah.
I have a little stat of on passes over 20 yards this season. 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 143.1 passer rating, which is first in the league for CJ Stroud.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is insane.
They also gave a PFF grade, but who gives a shit about that?
Yeah.
Do we play do the Jets play the
Yep.
Texans this year? Really? That'd be
In a couple
interesting.
weeks.
I would like to see how he does against our defense and
It is
secondary.
in a month.
Yeah. It'll be should be a good I don't know if the game will be good, but it should be interesting.
No, it'll probably be horrible, but you know.
Speaking of horrible games, we had the Browns Cardinals.
Oh yeah.
The Cardinals had 17 passing yards and 41 rushing yards.
Turns out, when you take away the only good thing about your offense, which is Josh Dobbs, you get remarkably worse.
Yep. I think their running back was also hurt. Actually, both their running backs. So Clayton Tune, 11 of 20, 58 yards, 2 interceptions, and 7 sacks on him.
Dude, their rushing stat lines are pitiful. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst. I mean, they had 58 yards the whole game.
But spread across 3 backs, 9 for 8, 4 for 3, and 3 for 2. That is just unreal.
None of their running backs averaged a yard. That's so bad.
It's horrible. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, and the only reason they had positive run yardage was Clayton Tune ran for 5 for 28.
Yeah.
Wow.
That makes me have some faith in the Vikings actually making the playoffs, because it really was Josh Dobbs holding this fucking thing together.
Yep. Well, they have Kyler Murray coming back now, so
Kyler Murray's coming back, and man, is he coming back to a god? Like if I'm Kyler Murray, I want out of there already. I'm not even back.
They traded D-Hop. They don't. What do they
have Hollywood Brown.
All right.
And Trey McBride's actually a pretty good tight end. That's about all I got.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that game.
And then who gives a shit about the Browns?
Yeah, okay. They essentially got a bye week this week.
Yeah.
And then Colts Panthers. Colts beating the Panthers 27-13. Gardner Minshew, 17 of 26, 127 and a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor ran for 47.
So if you look at the score, 27-13, difference of 14 points. Bryce Young had 2 pick sixes to the same guy.
Oh my!
Yeah.
So actually, the Panthers probably could have won this if that didn't
Could
happen.
have. But Bryce Young threw 2 pick sixes to Kenny Moore the second.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
And that was that. Tough. But I mean, Bryce Young is, he doesn't have a great team to work with.
Yeah.
But I mean, you compare him to CJ Stroud, who also doesn't have a good team to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
Kind of night and day. It's crazy.
this just proves that rating the quarterback that's number 1 doesn't matter in the draft. Like it just doesn't.
No,
it's
not at all.
Unless it's like Andrew Luck, like it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, even the Jaguars, they're like, Trevor Lawrence is Peyton Manning. And I'm like, I don't think he's Peyton Manning so far, but, he's good.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes was picked 16 or something. Josh Allen was picked 10. Tom Brady was picked in the 6th round.
Reminder,
Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant.
Chicago Bears chose Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. It's a fun little fact there. People may have forgotten the Nickelodeon
I
MVP.
don't care about the Bears, and it legitimately causes me pain to hear that. I can't imagine what that has to be like for a Bears fan. Almost as bad as drafting King over TJ Watt.
I will say, to be fair, I think if Patrick Mahomes went to the Bears, he'd probably be out of the NFL by now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So the Colts effectively have Jonathan Taylor back now. He's sort of taken the reins back from Zach Moss, which is given them a ground game elevation. Although honestly, Moss was doing pretty damn good in that role too. So their offense is fine.
I think the Panthers defense is all right too.
Yeah, it definitely has been the thing keeping them in the games they've been contenders in. But I feel like the Colts at least have a shot at this division. I know the Jags have a pretty firm hold on it right now, but this team is decent enough to maybe make a run at the end of the season. Well, they also have the Texans to deal with now.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know why the Colts are. I look at the Colts as a team, and I'm like, this team should be like 2-7, but they're actually doing fine. And then when I watch them, they're like scoring points and
they're
doing all the things they need to do.
In fact,
I mean, their offense, like I said, is fine, which is, as it turns out, in this year of the NFL, is like above average.
It's good enough.
In fact, they should probably be 5-4 because that shitty Browns ending.
True. Yeah, they're one of the teams that we're still on a win away from. For the Browns.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the Colts are they're there. They might be making a little playoff push for a wild card or something. Or
I was going to say probably not the division, but maybe a wild card.
There's just so many wild card teams in the AFC. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean they're all basically the same.
Yeah. So we'll see. One thing we won't see is the New York Giants making the playoffs. And Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito coming in.
This was more the Raiders post McDaniels victory.
Yes, this very much was.
Than anything.
You could tell the Raiders were like, dude, we actually can play football and not have Josh McDaniels standing there talking to us or yelling at us or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
And man, Josh Jacobs, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, popping off.
26 carries. That's I mean, obviously with the game script, it makes a lot more sense, but still.
Yeah.
I do wish that we had recorded after Josh McDaniels was fired so that I could have picked the Raiders.
It was such a weird, it was weird timing for it all. Like just randomly on a Tuesday night, we'll get him out of here.
I actually don't even, who's the interim head coach right now?
It's Antonio Pierce.
Oh.
Former player.
Right? Yeah. I recognize that name.
Did he play with the Giants? I don't
remember.
He played with here it is. He did.
Yeah, because it was his former team. Yeah, I remember saying that.
He played with Washington and the Giants. He played with both of them.
Okay.
But yeah, he was, dude, even just listening to him talk, like, dude just sounds like he can motivate you to just play football. Like, you listen to him, you're like, yeah, you know what? I like this guy. And then he even had a thing where he's like, they had the practice squad players on the field. And he's like, for some reason, like, teams don't have practice squad players on the field with the team on game day, even though they're there like all week long. So he's like, I just brought them on and they're like all pumped up too. Just like things like that where you're like, yeah, why isn't that a thing? You know? So that was cool. I don't think the Raiders are going to be going crazy, but they at least now have a competent coach, I guess. He's at least like a player. He's at least like a Dan Campbell style.
He was hired by Josh McDaniels, so
Yeah.
I think what you mean to say is they don't have Josh McDaniels anymore. They could literally not have a coach and probably be better.
Yeah.
Our fucking Airbud.
You could have Airbud and be better, yes.
There's nothing in the rules that say a dog can't be coach.
Show me where in the rule book it says a dog can't play football.
The Giants also gave up 8 sacks. The Raiders gave up 0. And the Giants are terrible, which, dude, Packers get to play the Giants in like 2 weeks. Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
Let's go. That's another victory. Chalk it up. We're already at 4 wins now, pushing the playoff picture.
Where were you when Daniel Jones was killed?
Which time?
Yeah. I mean, this is his second injury this season, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this one's season ending. The other one was like he couldn't feel his left side for a while, or like he was like a week. His left side was weak. So it's probably better he's not playing. But either way, what a change of a scenery the year makes, right? Last year, everyone's like, dude, Giants, look at him go. And now they're like, man, Giants.
Head coach of the year.
I feel like we were having the conversation about the 2 New York teams turning it around, and then whoops.
Yep.
Yeah.
The football gods hate New York for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of baseball. And that's not fair because it's a different sport, football gods. So I'm just saying.
Well, speaking of good teams, we had the Cowboys-Eagles, which was actually a pretty good game that the Cowboys probably should have won if they knew how to do anything.
I look. How do I say this? I said at the end of last season that the Cowboys would never win anything important as long as Dak Prescott is the quarterback and Mike McCarthy is the head coach. Yeah. And I'm going to stand after watching this game. I'm standing by that message. Like
I said that last week.
I probably said that last week too. I say it a lot.
I think you said it the week before too. Actually,
you called me last night and told me that.
Dak Prescott is the reverse Kenny Pickett. He literally plays great all game, and then the team goes, "Okay, Dak, it's time to win the game," and then he goes, and just can't do it. Like he cannot win the game. It was like first and like goal at like the 6-yard line. The Eagles literally penalized themselves to get the Cowboys from the 25 to the 6-yard line. It was
like the entire field, not just
literally
like
the entire field was penalties. It was a pass interference, and then it was a roughing the passer, a really dumb roughing the passer. Like dumb as in like I don't know how you do that in a professional football game.
Like he threw the ball, he turned around, he just hit him in the back. Like what you
just
doing?
Pushed him. Like what, come on, man. And they go from first and goal to like 4th and 22 or some shit. Like, oh my God. Like, it's not Prescott's fault that they immediately false started, which is just embarrassing. But like, it is his fault that he took a sack. You cannot take a sack there. You literally like. My understanding of the rules is like you can just throw it out of the back of the end zone,
just
right?
throw it out of the end
grounding.
Zone. I've seen that plenty of times.
Basically, yeah.
Like I said, so like don't take a sack, man. Like, good God.
And this isn't like a younger quarterback. Like this dude is Dak Prescott. He's one of the oldest quarterbacks like starting now at this point.
Like I'm sorry, like
that's wild. Is that true?
I mean, with the amount
that
of young
doesn't feel right, but I think you're just making me realize that time is linear again.
Like this is like you have like what people don't understand is like
what the fuck? Dak's 30? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, the clutch factor is real. It's a real thing. Like some people are not good under pressure, and I think Prescott is just not good under pressure. And you're not going to like blow out your opponent in the playoffs every single week. Like once you get to the playoffs, you're going to have that moment where you're like, I need to go out and win the game for my team.
Yeah.
And when you have a quarterback that just is not very good in clutch moments and a coach who doesn't fucking know how clock management works after 20 years in the goddamn league, like this team is not going to win a playoff game. It's just not going to happen.
So I agree with most of the things that you said, and I also hate the Cowboys, but I think Dak Prescott is good, very good actually.
he is good until he needs to be, and then he's not.
You know what's so funny is that if you said this about Romo when he was playing, it's like we're in a this is the curse. This is the curse of Tony Romo. He took over his spot, and now he has to live out the same career. You know, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. I'm just hold on. I'm trying to figure out. There's a few older quarterbacks in him. Geno Smith.
Still on that.
I'm still on that.
Yeah.
Like the only people older than him are Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr.
Dude, that's weird.
That doesn't even count. He's out.
Yeah.
Jimmy doesn't even play anymore.
Derek Carr, Geno Smith.
Wow.
Ryan Tannehill, Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, who's gone. So yeah, he's like he's in like top 5 starting oldest
weird,
quarterbacks
man.
now. It's
I mean,
wild.
I don't know. It does feel like a weird lineup, a weird era right now because
we didn't like put like there was just a chunk of like since Mahomes like that we've just not had good quarterbacks in the draft. Like,
well, I think it's not just that because it was also I don't know. It was just 20 straight years of Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, like
Ben. I mean, even a good Ben, and then also
Stafford.
Rivers, Stafford.
Yeah,
there was a lot
with a little sprinkle of Flacco on the Flacco.
No, no sprinkle of Flacco.
You can
no, but Drew Brees too. Like
Drew Brees, and then.
It's like a different.
There's more. Like Russell Wilson came in around that time too, and also like was good. Like
yeah, it feels like the current top guys in the league aren't I mean, maybe this is me being old and seeing a different generation of QBs, but I mean, like I don't know, Kirk Cousins. You know that like. Maybe in a couple of years, like I could see Pat Mahomes being.
Well, I was gonna say, dude, I feel like we're in the changing of the guard right now, where it's like it's the transition from the end of all of that previous era to like this new generation that's up and coming.
We had a Brady handoff. We had like Brady to Mahomes, but we didn't have a Manning handoff. Who the hell?
Yeah, there's
no one replaced Manning.
Yeah, like who? I mean, there's a bunch of QBs that are really good that are like you could say are maybe on the same scale of Mahomes, right? Like maybe a Joe Burrow, maybe you could argue Justin Herbert.
I do think that that Mahomes isn't necessarily so much better than other quarterbacks, so much as he just has a very unique style.
Yeah,
that is kind of it's way splashier.
Yeah, so like I could see like Mahomes and Lamar being those guys, those legends eventually, and maybe they, they'll continue to be. I'm sure they will, but like I don't know. Yeah, like right now, I think like Bear's saying, it's like mid changing of the guard. But I would think I don't know. Yeah, weird.
I'd say weird. The only people I'd put at the top right now are like Mahomes and Burrow. Like I think in terms of like elite, like insanely elite, I'd say it's them. Like, if I'm starting a franchise, I would still probably take Patrick Mahomes, and then I'd probably take Joe Burrow next.
I feel like it's just Mahomes up there by himself, though. I mean, we were even having a similar conversation last week about Mahomes and Lamar Jackson being in the same category.
We all thought Burrow was regressing, and it was just he was injured, and now he's just fucking insane again.
I still think Joe Burrow probably should have won that playoff game against the Chiefs last year.
It's just careful, though. They'll hear you, and they'll say mean things. You can't say that.
I mean, imagine if the Dallas Cowboys had Joe Burrow. They'd probably be in first place. Like straight up, CeeDee Lamb at 191. Like
CeeDee Lamb's having a hell of a year, man.
Yeah. Really.
It's like, and then you have Jalen Hurts on the other side, who's still pretty good.
Yeah.
The thing with like Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen is they're just as good as they were. They just are making so many fucking mistakes, lots of interceptions this year and things like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of intercept. Like
it's a lot sloppier.
Josh Allen has 14 interceptions this year, which is not good.
That's got to be among the highest, right? Like. What is he like number 1 or 2?
Or wait, where did this? Oh, I was looking at a different thing. He's at 9 interceptions this year, which is the highest, tied with Jimmy Garoppolo, Sam Howell, and Mac Jones. So not great company.
Yeah, that's
But Jalen Hurts is second with 8, tied with Jordan Love. That's not a place you want to be. And then actually Patrick Mahomes is at 8. I didn't even see that. Wow. Are you saying Jordan Love's just like Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts? That's just, it's crazy. So yeah, it's the moral of the story here is that the Cowboys couldn't get a touchdown to win the game, and Dak Prescott kind of just looked like he flustered it, and he was just like, and then before you knew it, it was over.
Yeah.
So I actually think the Cowboys should have won this game because the Eagles were just throwing at the end.
And important to note, Dak Prescott had 374 yards and 3 touchdowns. So it's not like he had a bad game.
It's not like he had a bad game. And that's the thing. He always does like pretty well. And then it's just once it's playoff time or once it's like, meaningful game against a probable divisional, like this is a game that could decide the division, right? Like if they win this game, they're 6-2 and the Eagles are 7-3 and you're a game back and you hold the tiebreaker. And instead, now the Cowboys are 5-3 and the Eagles are 8-1 and the Eagles are going to probably win the division.
The magic is over, guys. You kept telling me it wasn't going to happen.
Yep.
Well, we'll see.
Season is yet young, my friend.
It's not. It's half over.
But again, if any team is to
you don't understand, all the magic is being used up by Mike Tomlin right now. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah. So yeah, then we had Bengals Bills. Speaking of which.
Speaking of a very good Joe Burrow, holy hell, this kid is still. He's. I mean, again, I didn't really necessarily want to put this qualifier in when we were talking about it, but his receiving core is pretty goddamn good, dude.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, one of the best.
Yeah. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. It's pretty good.
With Joe Mixon in the backfield, good God,
Joe Mixon, like they're good.
Do they have who's their tight end?
Tyler Boyd.
Right.
Or no, Tyler Boyd's not their tight end.
Oh,
no, he's their third receiver.
He's I think it's
third
Hudson.
receiver.
It's Drew
Tanner
Sample.
Hudson.
Does their other tight end?
Tanner
I thought they had
Hudson.
one that. Who am I thinking of?
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
if they get like a Kelsey type guy.
Yes, that'd be insane.
Dude, please
Kittle.
put Kelsey on this team. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. But the Bengals are looking like the Bengals of old now that they're healed up a bit. Although Jamar Chase is hurt, but he's like, I'm still going. Josh Allen on the other side. The Bills just can't run the ball. Like they just can't run the ball. I don't know why. It's like Josh Allen can run, but that's it. Like they can't run.
They don't even really try that much. I mean, I feel like James Cook gets like 10 carries a game or something like that.
I don't know why. I guess maybe they can't run block. Maybe they just I don't know. I really don't know.
It's sad that like I feel like the Bills are generally like I feel like they're the least hated team in the league, and because like everyone's like, oh, you're gonna get them this year, Buffalo. And like because and they've been good for a while now, but they just like I feel bad their window might be closing and they didn't do anything.
They honestly give me like AFC Vikings vibes where like they've lost 3 Super Bowls in a row in the 90s. They get close again. They're like, here we go, guys. We're doing it.
4?
It was 4. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's
4 straight years. 4 straight losses in the Super Bowl.
And it's like, unlike the Vikings, I can actually cheer for them because they're not in my division. So I'm like, come on, Bills, here we go. And then they're just like, how do we run the ball? Oh, my God.
I mean, I can only cheer for them so far, and I will say I am happy that they are vulnerable and we don't have a repeat of the Patriots again.
The Bills are like your Lions.
Yeah, right. Like I'm glad that they're good because I want the Jets to be good enough to beat them.
Right.
But I also don't want them to be the Patriots again. Please, not again. Please, God.
Well, they have to win in order to be the Patriots.
Yeah,
right.
They're not, and they're not going to be the Patriots, man. Josh Allen ain't going to last long enough for them to be the Patriots.
I do. I mean, honestly, I do. This is something that I was saying since his rookie year, which is that like the way that he plays is still so dangerous. He's gonna fucking destroy his body over time.
I mean, like he's a much bigger quarterback than most, which I think contributes a lot to his success with it. Oh yeah, no, certainly there's examples of like that collapsing on them. I'm just saying, like I feel like that probably contributes to his belief that he's going to be able to sustain that kind of play, which of course is the only thing that matters ultimately, and is what's probably going to destroy him, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I will say. The Bills, they got a rough schedule ahead. So they play Broncos, which they need to win. Then they play the Jets again, which they need to win. Because then they play Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a gauntlet.
What hellspawn devised
This-
that gauntlet for them?
This
Yeah.
team
Good
might
Lord.
not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
Then they got the
ridiculous.
Dolphins at the end of the year,
Yeah, and
man.
then they
Holy
got
fuck.
Patriots for another free win. Then they have the Dolphins. Like,
Not a free
Yeah.
win. They lost to the Patriots.
oh yeah,
remember?
they did lose to the
True.
Patriots.
Yeah. And they
Yeah,
lost
one
to the
of-
Jets too, is another
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
They're fucked.
Like,
Oh my god.
If they don't get it together, this team could be like 8 wins.
If
and
they
that's
lose
it.
to the
Yeah.
Broncos, I legit think their season is over.
Yeah,
It might be, honestly.
it might
I
actually
think their
be.
playoffs start on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they actually do.
Can we talk
so-
about why the fucking Broncos are on Monday goddamn night again? Oh, and by the way,
Yeah.
they're on Sunday night the week after.
Oh, I think they can start flexing stuff there, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
flexing.
at least the Broncos
Hey,
are better.
at least Sunday night this week is Raiders Jets.
Oh,
Hey.
God. What?
Okay, but guys, the
Right.
Thursday night game is Panthers Bears. So
Well, that
we
makes
have at
up
least
for it, of
one
course.
good primetime game.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'll,
you know
I'll get
what?
into this. Yeah, I'll get into this later. But also, I fucking hate that the Jets are bad, and I have to wait longer to watch them be bad.
Yeah.
God,
you know what's
damn
fun
it.
about Panthers Bears at least is the Bears own the Panthers pick, so nobody even has tanking incentives because it's just like
Right.
it doesn't really matter, at least for the Bears, and then the Panthers just want to win because it doesn't matter. So yeah, it'll be a
Just
fun.
go have fun.
Yeah, you get to have fun.
Yeah. Speaking of having fun,
Speaking
Or
of
not
having,
having
fun,
fun.
and not having fun, the Jets played a football game.
okay,
That's
before
arguable.
before Rob goes and explains the majority of this game,
Yeah,
I need to say that this statistic is truly fucking insane. The Los Angeles Chargers had 191 total yards. That is very low
Yep.
for a team
Yeah.
like the Chargers, and they scored 27 points.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I
That
mean,
is-
like when you look at it that way, you think like, oh, they were very efficient with their yardage. Just not at all. They they somehow managed to turn a catastrophic performance on the opposite side into easy free points all the through the game.
yeah.
So
Justin Herbert did nothing. The offense of the Chargers did nothing, and the score of this game was 27.
Mind
to
you,
6.
the amount of yardage they got was about equivalent to the Rams, who scored 3 points, and the Seahawks, who scored 3 points, and they got
Yeah.
27.
So, I would, for stat consideration, I would like to read this from OptaStats,
Yep.
which says the Jets are the only NFL team in the Super Bowl era to have their defense collect 5+ sacks, hold the opponent to under 200 yards, and not allow any 25+ yard plays, and yet lose the game by 20+ points.
That's a New York Jets stat if I've ever seen one.
That is
I watched
I-
this whole game, which I don't know
I'm
why.
sorry.
I feel like
I
I've
watch
watched,
this team every week.
I've-
the
I've
whole
watched-
game
I watched every game this season
for
so far.
fun.
I've watched too much football this year, especially in a year where football has not been very good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It does feel like you've been more in tune. Yeah, but go on.
I've been like I watched this game, and the defensive showcase the Jets showed was impeccable. This defense literally neutered what is a very good offense and made it look like the fucking Giants. Like, it was incredible watching the coverage and just the like, it was beautiful to watch. And you're sitting here watching this like #1 defense performance, and then you're like, man, the Chargers just keep getting points, even though they aren't doing anything. And you're so confused. This was the most confusing game to watch.
Yeah, well, here's another thing about this game is that so Zach Wilson is, bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that isn't even really entirely why we lost the game. The whole offense was bad in this game. Like everybody. I mean, Garrett Wilson fumbled, Brees Hall fumbled,
Lazard couldn't catch the ball.
Oh yeah, I mean, even in the garbage time at the end of the game, I mean, you watched at the end of the game, right? Like in garbage time, Zach Wilson hits Uzama like right on the shoulder, and he fucking can't catch it. Can't catch the touchdown in garbage time. They're like, there was no one around them for 5 yards. They were letting you have it. They felt bad, and they couldn't do it. I mean, this and then our offensive line too. Oh my
8
god,
sacks.
Jesus Christ,
Dude, they gave up 60 yards lost from sacks. Like
That's-
so
yeah.
much field position.
Yeah.
That's absurd. I mean, this offense is atrocious, and like you're saying, the defense amazingly is still really good, even though they technically gave up 27.
Yep.
I
they
mean, one of
didn't,
those
though.
was there. Two of them were from defensive touchdowns, right? Didn't
One,
they get two?
one was a punt return touchdown.
Right. Yeah, that was
And
it.
then one of them was the first 14 points were punt return touchdown, and then fumble, and
like right in the fucking red zone, right?
Yeah, like in a close. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the only 2 drives that like the Chargers actually had that were like good were field goal drives. They just they got 2 field goal drives. That was all of I said San Diego. All of LA's offense pretty much scored 6 points.
It's insane. It's yeah. And speaking of insane, here's an insane stat: the Jets have not had a touchdown drive of longer than 1 play since the Kansas City game.
Yep.
All 3 of their touchdowns were 1-play drives from Breece Hall.
Yep.
They have Breece Hall. They have Garrett Wilson. Those 2
That's it.
are beasts on offense and are somehow putting up numbers despite the whole rest of the Jets not doing a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
even if they had Aaron Rodgers, I don't know how much better they'd be doing.
And you know what's wonderful too is we drafted a defensive lineman with our first round pick last draft, and again, we've had a number of wins the past couple of weeks. We've gotten very lucky in those wins. And this is just still true. I really hate how little they care for the offense. Like, clearly our O-line is not competitive, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even it's not even that like it's a bad O-line or it's a they got
It's an unqualified O-line.
Right. This is an O-line that cannot play the sport of football in the NFL together.
Yeah.
It does not work. Oh boy.
Like, even thinking back to the Aaron Rodgers Achilles game, it was Aaron Rodgers under pressure, under pressure, Aaron Rodgers like Achilles blows up because he's under pressure.
Yes. Yeah, because he's backpedaling.
Yeah.
No, like 100%. It's malpractice. It's negligence on the and by the way, our GM is a former O-lineman. And in fact, that was like one of the big selling points of him coming here was like, I know the O-line. Joe Douglas, O-lineman, am going to focus on the O-line. And well, here we are. So, it feels, and also the other thing too, even if we weren't going to get, because, a lot of the Jets fans argue amongst themselves whenever whenever we lose. And
wow, arguing amongst themselves on the internet? That never happens.
And people are like, well, they couldn't get what's his face, the shitbag McFuck face.
That guy would have been great on the O-line.
Yeah, I would have loved him.
Yeah.
But some the good O linemen, so who are they going to draft? This other guy or whatever, right? And it's like, well, they could have also drafted a wide receiver 2 or something. Anything else for a tight end, you know?
You can't do that.
I mean, fuck, man. There's lots of things that you could get. Plus, there are 5 positions on the offensive line. 5 of them. So, I mean, there's not one dude in there that you could have got. I don't know. It's just...
Yeah.
So the Jets have lost this game, and I think the truth is I still have no idea how to judge which of our next games are going to be wins and which are going to be losses, because look at our schedule and look at who our wins were against and how and why are we the record that we are. So I have no idea how to know. Are we going to beat the Raiders, or we're probably... I feel like the rule is to know how the Jets games are going to go is what is the funniest possible outcome. That will be what occurs.
There have been a lot of funny outcomes this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
The funny outcome is you go on like a 5-game win streak.
Oh, yeah.
That might be true, yeah, but maybe not against the... See, it might be funnier if we lose to the Raiders. Like,
Yeah,
who
it
are
would
they
be.
starting as? Like, they're starting their
Aiden
QB.
O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell. Yeah, I mean that's kind of funny.
Well, we actually got some big Jets news coming up. Robert Saleh said that according to these crazy rumors, crazy reports, Trevor Siemian will not be promoted and Zach Wilson will start again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if Trevor Siemian would do that much better at this point.
Probably not at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
it's you say with with Aaron Rodgers, this team's 6-2 minimum.
Yeah,
Minimum,
they
they're
would
6-2.
still be winning.
They
Yeah.
win this game and they win the Patriots game and they're
Yeah.
6-2 with
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, with this defense too. Like, because the other thing is this defense.
He would at least find Garrett Wilson a couple times for like some touchdown.
Yeah. Well, I mean, keep in mind too, like this defense is, like for instance, when I was talking about their the points per game is still going to be counted against the defense in the points per game stats.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Even
was
though it
funny
wasn't their
when there
fault.
was a punt return touchdown and you lost points in fantasy, and I was like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's a fun time. But this defense, you got to keep in mind, is still like probably top
It's the best
5 number 1 defense.
It's the best defense in football. I don't think there's a
I
question.
think so too. I
think
agree.
it's the best defense.
And the thing is, they're hampered by the worst offense in football. Right?
Yep.
So
Second worst, the Giants.
maybe, yeah,
Other New York
yeah.
team.
That's a fair point. Yeah, maybe there's arguments for that. But my point is, like, imagine if they had, anybody moving the ball on offense, how much easier it would be for them to, because the defense is just regularly getting good teams to go 3 and out over and over again. Imagine if you had offense where they could get first downs.
Offense, first down. Right. I
No,
gotta write
Rob, I
this
don't
down.
know what that's like.
Yeah, I actually didn't know what that was until we played Brett Rippon this week. So
You still didn't really know what that was.
yeah, I still. Actually, looking into the stats right here, right? So the best total yard defense is the Cleveland Browns, allowing 234 yards a game, followed by the Ravens, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Lions. The best passing defense is the Browns, followed by the Ravens and the Jets, and the Chiefs and the Panthers. The best run defense is the Eagles, followed by the Lions, the Jaguars, the Bears, the 49ers, and the Browns. The Jets actually have the 3rd worst run defense in the NFL.
Really?
Yep, giving up 137 rushing yards a game. The only worst teams are the Raiders and the Broncos.
That's horrible.
In fact,
Well,
the Steelers
you know what?
are right
That's-
next to them there.
So yeah, the Steelers have a really bad defense if you look at good defense metrics. Like yards given up is actually, the Steelers have a terrible defense. They just basically let you go all the way down the field and then cause a turnover in the red zone. That's kind of their jam.
That's just their strategy. I get it.
Which is why we lose by like 30 points in games where that doesn't happen.
Well, luckily Aaron Jones will probably get like 150 yards and we'll lose. The best points per game. Here we go. This is big time defense stats here. Ravens, number 1 at 13.8 points per game. Chiefs, 15.9. Browns, 17.4. 49ers, 17.5. And Bills at 17.8. Then Cowboys, Saints, Jets.
Chiefs are pretty good at points per game.
They are
this year.
In fact, the Jets are, what is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the Jets are 8th in points per game.
Yeah.
In fact, wow, the Packers are 10th. If only we could score 20 points per game instead of like 17, then we'd actually be doing all right. So the moral of the story here is that the Jets are the Jets, and they will probably still be the Jets by the end of the season in some sort of funny, weird way that we can't wait to see.
Yep.
And now it's time for power rankings.
Power ranking. Power rankings.
Power rankings.
Our rankings?
Power
ranking.
And now, power rankings.
Power rankings.
Power rankings. All right. The bit's going too long now.
No. If we keep going, then it'll double back into being funny again.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
like
the
5
formula.
minutes. Right.
Power rankings?
Power rankings. No, okay, no.
No,
No,
it's not.
because you said it out loud. It looked-
Top 5, starting with Rob.
Oh, Chiefs.
You are. Hold on, these are all blocked out, which I could actually guess as well. Yes, Bear.
Eagles.
Yep, Apollo.
Raven.
Yep. Oh wait, I just said Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yep, Jaguars. Yes, I'm correct. Jaguars. And Rob.
The fish.
What? No.
Not the fish.
I can say what I think it
Yeah.
should be. The Bengals. It should be the Bengals.
It should be, but it's not. Bear.
It's the Detroit Lions.
Yep, it's the Detroit Lions.
Okay, at least it's not something
fair,
dumb.
yeah.
That's true, yeah. Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Jaguars, Lions in that order.
Mhm.
So Apollo was right. It was the Ravens number 2 and the Eagles number 1.
Told you.
Yep. The thinnest dink. Just yell it out. Anybody who wants to pick that dink.
The Texans.
Wait, how many spots? How many spots?
They've risen 4 spots.
The Texans.
The Vikings.
Freak
Freak out.
Jaguars.
I think it's the
It
Texans.
is the Colts.
What the
somehow.
fuck?
Yeah,
But they
I-
played the Panthers. Like
I don't know. I don't get
Ed
it.
at home.
Ed
Ed
works
Eddie.
in mysterious ways.
He
you
does.
Now look at that fat doink.
How many spots?
I like that.
How many spots?
6. They've fallen
The-
6.
Wow.
Rams?
Let's say Rams. Give me the Rams.
No, 'cause
Give
they
me
fell
the
last week.
Bills.
They might have fallen further.
No, give me the Jets.
Second guessed it. It's the Rams.
Oh,
Ah,
should have
yeah.
stuck with it.
Should have stuck.
stuck with
Falling from 21 down to 27. That's what happens when Carson Wentz is now your starting
Oh
quarterback.
yeah, that's fair. I didn't think of it that way.
With their loss to the Bengals, the Buffalo Bills have fallen from 9th to 11th. Prior to this, how many consecutive weeks had the Bills spent in the top 10 between 1 and 81?
Let's say like
41.
60.
81.
That's a good guess. I like
Yeah.
that guess.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say 76.
Wow.
It
cheater.
is 66.
I win. Price is right.
I
rules. You
win.
The-
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Robert.
I did great.
Last time the Bills were outside the top 10 was week 15 of 2019-2020.
Damn.
This is the longest top 10 streak in podcast history. Wow.
Yeesh.
That's hardcore.
That's hardcore. With half the season complete, which teams have risen and fallen the furthest from their week 1 rankings, starting with the thinnest cumulative dink.
Oh.
I remember learning
we're
about that in
going-
math.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
It's a-
say that the
It's
Texans.
a type of cloud, right? The
yeah.
cumulative
You go thin dink squared, carry
yeah,
to 1.
Yeah. mhm.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that the Texans have dinked the most,
I
and I'm gonna say
What's the time frame? This
From
season?
the beginning of the season to
Yeah.
now, yeah.
And I'll say that who doinked the most? The Patriots doinked the most.
I think that the Lions had the thinnest cumulative dink.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
so no, you go ahead.
No, you're right. You get to do both.
I need to also go ahead and assign my fattest cumulative doink to the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
Mm.
I think the Rams started low is the thing.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I was
I-
thinking too.
I will go for the cumulodinkus of
That's my favorite cloud.
yeah. I will say the Bengals.
Okay.
What?
They had a losing streak for a little while.
That's
They were
true.
getting-
They did.
But
They were
I
getting
thought it
shit
was
on.
just from start to finish. But I don't. And you know what? Whatever.
Yeah,
I've already given my
from
answer.
week 1, right?
From
Like,
week 1 till now.
Yeah.
combined.
So they're good now, and they
Well, they were
you
good
know.
before week 1 started.
true.
Yeah.
And then my Stratodoinkus will be. I will say the Falcons.
Okay.
On clear
So
nights out here in Utah fields, you can clearly see Stratodoinkus up in the sky.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a
You can-
fat doink on the New York Giants.
That's
I
Sure,
think
yeah.
they were supposed to
Yeah.
be at least
Yeah,
somewhat
true.
capable.
Fair.
That's
Yeah.
a good guess. Yeah.
And
Brian
my
Brian Double. How the fuck do you say
What?
his name?
Yeah.
Dable.
That whole
And
sentence.
my boogie coach, Brian the Bull, is playing
I think you were
football.
speaking in tongues there. Like, I have
I
to
was,
see an
I was
exorcist.
staring at the constellations they were channeling through me.
Brian the Bull, Cumulodonkus.
Cumulodonkus. I'm gonna go thinnest to dinkest on the Jaguars.
What?
Okay.
I don't
Sure.
know.
I don't remember
The
what mine were. So
thinnest to dinkest is the Texans.
Yes.
okay.
They have gone from 31st to 15th. That is pretty good.
Yep.
The fattest doinkus is the Giants. Going
Hey, got it.
from
Okay, yeah.
19 to 30. We've got an honorable mention, though. The Colts going from 29 to 19 on the dink.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. The Raiders and Broncos have been very close all year in ranking, swapping leads multiple times, but which of them is currently ranked higher?
Oh,
Broncos.
the
Raiders.
Braiders.
Oh,
That's
good.
somewhat correct. The Broncos are currently ranked above the Raiders,
Hey.
24
I
and
take the win.
25. You
Oh,
can
they're,
feel it.
right there. You got to be right next to him. You got to be right next to him.
This one's for Rob.
Okay.
Rob, after losing to the Chargers, the New York Jets have fallen from 13th and are no longer in the top 16 of the NFL.com power rankings.
That's absolutely true.
That is absolutely true. The Jets have fallen 5 spots, narrowly missing the fattest doink at 18.
Yeah. That's
And
fair.
those are your NFL.com Power Bible Internet Ed Home Ed and Eddie Power Rankings.
Shout out
Ed.
Pixel for the bonus questions.
Thank you.
Yes,
But
thank you very much.
also,
Yeah,
Ed
yeah,
giveth and Ed taketh away.
Mhm. Mainly takes.
He taketh.
And now it's time for Pick'em Bonus Stats.
Bonus and the regular stats.
And
Brought to you
other
by
stats.
our show.
Brought to
Stats,
you
etc.
by Power Ranking.
And also by
Power
Pixel.
rankings
And
Pixel.
Patreon.
And Patreon.
So this week we had me and
We should get a
Apollo.
hold on. Sorry, wait. We should get a really stupid sponsor for this segment, like something that just does not fit at all. I don't
I
know
love that.
what. Yeah, like women's
like-
deodorant or something.
Yeah,
You know?
or just like some company that makes pens. It's like,
Like
yeah,
Lockheed
not
Martin.
like smoking, but like actual like clicking write down information pens.
It needs to
dude.
make no sense. It needs to be like a local
Yeah.
granite company or something like
Right.
that. You know, like,
Yeah,
it only
yeah, that's
serves
true.
Tallahassee, Florida.
No, yeah, somewhere that none of us are from. Yeah.
Bringing us the best granite from Tallahassee, Florida.
From
Oh, how about
Tallahassee.
like a small amusement park in like Missouri?
Or like
Yeah.
Norway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
like northern Norway.
Yeah.
Even. It's only open for like 2
It's
weeks
only
of
open
the
for
year.
2 days.
Hey, you know what? We should email these people and be like, you know what? We'll take $20 for the sponsor.
Yeah,
We'll
they
pay
really
you.
should.
That's some
Thank you
Patreon
so
money. We'll
much,
skip them a couple $100.
Fjordland Amusement Bar.
This has been the Fjord Linda Boosted
They'll
Bar
probably think it's
Power Rankings.
Well,
That's such a good idea.
That is a
I
great
wanna
idea.
do it.
We should absolutely do that.
well,
Sorry. Anyway, go on.
this week, me, Apollo, and assistant coach Danny all went 11-4. The Discord went 10-5. The Bear and Rob went
The
7-8.
Bear and Rob.
The Bear and Rob.
The
Yep.
Bear and Rob.
We're
Bear and
acting as a
Rob.
pick'em duo for the rest.
7-8. And Randy went 5-10. Bad week for Randy.
Bad week for Randy.
Take a
I'm
look.
tied. I'm back in first, baby.
You are
I'm
You're
tied for
getting there,
first.
dude.
The Kansas City Chiefs are on the chopping block here. This is the first time.
Red. That
is
is the
And
most,
boom goes the
awkward
dynamite.
way. Yeah.
this is the thing that's going to end the Chiefs' year. This was the first time Rob has picked against the Chiefs since November 14th, 2021.
Wow.
Well,
That's
I mean, I
crazy.
guess they won, but this will end their year because of that stat. This ends a 32-game pick streak, Rob's longest and the third longest ever recorded. Krendor Packers 54, Sinvicta Bucks 41.
I don't think I have any big pick streaks. I feel
Probably
like.
do.
I don't think so. If it's anything, it's probably the Bills from like last year or something. I remember. I
Yeah,
picked them
maybe.
a
I
lot.
don't know.
I
Well,
know
at the
I'm
most,
maintaining an
it's
active pick against streak for the
That's
Elves.
true.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dear Gino, Bears now 13-15, predicting Seahawks when Geno Smith is their starting quarterback. Prior to this, Bear was 38-21.
Dear Mr. Gino, sir, I was under the impression that it was always Gino season, but it turns out Gino season is over.
He ain't gonna write back, Bear.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
It will never end.
Apollo is now 3-5, predicting the Buccaneers this season. He has alternated between wins and losses for the last 7 weeks. Loss, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss.
That sounds about right.
Oh, so
Yep.
he's gonna be right this week.
So he's gonna be right this week.
Well, no, I was right this week though. I think that means what I predicted, not if they won or lost. Like I predicted
Correct.
them to lose. Yeah.
Which means
Maybe. Yeah. So
whatever
that
you
means I'm going to predict them to win this
That's
week.
confusing.
whatever your Buccaneers prediction is, whether it's
You're gonna
them
be
winning or
correct.
losing, you'll be correct.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's what I said.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
well, no,
We're
You're gonna
because
be
I
right
was-
this week.
Whatever.
because I
we're
was,
moving.
I was right this week. I said the Browns would win, and they won.
Yeah. But that's what we're saying.
Well,
Whatever
so-
you decide will be correct.
No,
No, wait, what? We're talking about the Bucks,
Wait.
dude, not the Browns.
Yeah, wait. What?
yeah, okay,
The Buccaneers then
lost, and I predicted they would lose. I think it's
Correct.
I
Yeah.
alternate between picking them to win or lose, not that I was
Oh.
right or wrong.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to say.
I'm just gonna pick whatever I want. I don't even care. Consequential conference. Krendor's had difficulty predicting games that don't feature an NFC team this season. That's not good. That's half the game.
That's half the game.
26-18 NFC, 18-25 AFC, NFC, 33-16.
That's pretty
I
good.
was really bad
Yeah.
at predicting AFC games. For
Yeah,
some reason.
really bad at AFC. Against AFC and going berserk every time, or everybody but Randy struggles predicting the Vikings in November. Randy's record for non-November games should read 13-17, not 13-7.
Okay.
And 7-2 November. Everybody else 52 and 56, and that November 226 and 133. Wow.
Wow.
So Randy is a Viking. That's what that boils down to.
God.
Predicting
the Vikings.
And currently we got a log jam now. Me, Bear, and Rob all tied, or not tied, but very close together there in the middle. Randy hovering around the 50 as he should, and then Apollo Discord way up top, and
Or it's
assistant coaches.
amazing that he's at 50%. We don't know.
That's true.
I miss when
Simply
Randy was
don't
leading the
know.
whole league.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. That was really cool.
Yeah, there was a moment there.
And then assistant coaches are in the middle of us and Apollo Discord.
Can I just say that this is gonna look real good when I fucking biff it this week.
Yeah,
I'm pretty good at pick'ems, I think.
that's
I'm
possible.
pretty good at pick'ems.
Yeah.
And now that I've said that, let's go 2-12.
Yeah.
Yep. It's time to pick them.
Pick 'em.
This week's assistant coach is Rubber Ducky.
You're the one.
Oh, was that was me, right? Okay, and you can also be an assistant coach featured on the show if you'd like to go over to patreon.com, search for 3 Guys and a Bear. You can pledge at the assistant coach level, and your picks could be featured on the show, just like Rubber Ducky. Thank you, Rubber Ducky.
You're the one.
Rubber
You make
Ducky.
bath time lots of fun.
Yes.
Rubber Ducky, oh, you're the one for me.
That is.
got a point.
He does.
I'm
have a
hitting
point.
on you is what I'm going for.
He is
here,
hitting
on you.
man. I'm just call me back. I've been calling and you're just not responding.
Yep. Panthers, Bears.
God.
Skip it.
Can we skip?
Yeah.
Can we have one skip a year where we just skip the game?
I mean, okay,
I would,
hey,
I would like to skip.
I'm going to point out Rubber Ducky is 7-0 picking the Panthers.
Hey,
So,
there you go.
and
And so I'm assuming they've picked the Bears.
they have picked
That's
the
correct.
Bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't trust the Bears at all.
I don't either, but they did like okay against like a decent. I'm gonna take the Bears. I'll do it.
I'm
I'll
also
be
going to
the
take the
first to
Bears.
pick.
I think Fields might be coming back.
Oh, well, then I'm definitely taking the Bears.
Okay.
I think the Bears will win, but I'm gonna take the Panthers just to
Okay,
take them.
that's
That's
Crendor
fair.
right there. That's great logic too. You really
Yeah.
spelled it out. I think this team's gonna win, so I'll be picking the other team because
Yeah.
I will also take the Bears.
All right. Well, I mean, if the Panthers end up winning, then I'll be like sick, you know?
That's true. You will be sick.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. Colts Patriots.
Germany, and I won't be waking up to watch this one.
No.
I
I will take the Colts.
I will take the Colts.
I will also take the horses.
This is another one of Rubber Ducky's best predicted teams. He's 7-1 at predicting
Oh.
Colts games this year, which is pretty damn good for a team like that.
And pick the Colts.
So I'll also pick the Colts as a result of that.
All right. Browns, Ravens.
It's Ravens. This Browns team is so stupidly overrated.
Yeah.
Oh God, the Browns. Are
They
gonna end
already
up
they
winning
already
this
played
game,
once
aren't
this
they?
season, and I think they fucking smushed them, didn't they?
I believe they did. Lamar had a lot of points, but that also means maybe the Browns take this one.
Sure, man. Keep telling yourselves that.
I
I lose no matter who wins this game.
yeah. I am gonna pick the Browns because I have Lamar Jackson. So either Lamar Jackson pops off, and then I feel good.
Ravens win 6-3. Got it.
Yeah.
Lamar has -4 points.
That has been a Browns Ravens game score,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm still
Like
I'm
during
taking
the
the
podcast
Browns.
era.
I think they'll split.
I will
Uh,
take the Ravens.
Yeah, y'all know I'm not picking no goddamn elves.
Yeah, we don't even ask there about this one.
Yeah.
Rubber Ducky also went Ravens.
Oh Christ.
Here we game of the week, boys.
Packers, Steelers.
I'm taking the
Oh, boy.
Packers.
I'm gonna be taking the Steelers.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Which should surprise nobody.
Yep.
Whose
look at the
lack
Steelers
of belief in their team is stronger? I do think I might get a 1v4 with the Packers. I mean, I think the Discord's gonna pick the Steelers.
Yeah, Rubber Ducky went Steelers as well.
I don't know, man.
Every time we play against one guy who can run through our offensive line, it goes terribly. And they have one of the best ones at doing that.
Yeah, and we're gonna drop him into coverage.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll take the Steelers.
All right.
I will take, dude. You're telling me either my team wins or I get a 1v4. That is wonderful.
You're telling me either my team wins or I get a pick 'em win? Hooray!
You know?
Honestly, I would take the Packers win over my Steeler pick, but at least if they lose, then I get
Same.
my Steelers pick.
Do you know how funny it's gonna be if the Steelers are fucking 6-3, dude?
That would be pretty funny. I actually think the Packers still could win this one. I think if we just run the ball, which means we probably aren't going to run the ball, and
Yeah, our run defense is terrible.
yeah, we should run the ball and be good. Our defense is actually all right. I actually do think the Packers could win this game, but but I'm still going to take the Steelers just in case they lose, and I don't feel as bad. 49ers, Jaguars.
This is a very hard game to predict because
This
the Niners
is.
are on a bye week and we don't really know where they're at. They've lost 3 straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm-
assuming
oh.
is Debo back?
I think so.
I will take the Niners. I think we miss or we underestimate Niners at full
Yeah.
strength.
I'm going to go Niners
I'm
too.
gonna take Niners.
I will
Yeah,
also
let
take
me
the
give you
Niners,
all a
yeah.
bonus stat just to reinforce that. Under head
Ooh.
coach Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers are 36-16 after the bye.
Oh yeah. that's
Okay, that's pretty
Dude,
good.
I'm also like, I have an insane after the bye record, don't I? We talked
I
about
don't-
that in
I
the
don't-
bonus stats the other week.
I don't remember.
Maybe, yeah.
You, for all I know, you could have had a terrible after the bye stat.
Hold on,
and You're
I'm
just
checking
misremembering.
I'm checking.
I
Yes.
forgot what I was doing 4 hours ago. So.
Krendor leads both this season and all time predicting teams coming off a bye week. 64% and 66 career.
So I will pick the Niners with even higher levels of confidence.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Give me the Jags here.
Okay.
Funnily enough, Bear is 27% at predicting teams to a bye week. So I'm feeling pretty good.
I don't know whatever that impulse is in me, but I got to work on shutting that down.
Yeah, that might be why. Yeah.
Yeah, just stay away from casinos.
Give me the team I don't think is gonna win.
Who would do that?
All right, give me the Niners. Fuck, I'm gonna feel so shitty if the Jags win this.
It'd
though.
be
Yeah.
so funny.
Well,
if the
now I think
Jags
you should
win.
pick the Jags because
I
you're
know,
setting yourself
God,
up
yeah.
for a terrible
Where's the
day.
still?
Fucking Monty Hall problem with Pick'ems.
Saints Vikings.
Man, Saints. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna believe in Vikings magic until
Yeah.
they win a couple more in a row.
I agree. I'm
That's
going
fair.
Saints.
Although these teams,
What are you
they
saying?
have.
See, I think the Saints are supposed to be good, so I do think that like I don't know, like they're
They have
such
a
a weird
history.
team. They have a history of not playing to their fucking potential this
Yeah.
season. Oh, well, you're talking about the history between the teams.
Yeah.
You're talking about Diggs sideline,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Mhm. And it's not even the first time either, right? Like this goes back to the Brett Favre playoff game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, when the
I forgot
Saints won
about
the
that
Super
one.
Bowl that year. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's some there's some long running animosity.
There's an
between
animal
these
on that
two.
team, man.
They are animal team. Actually, neither of these teams have animals.
Yep.
No, I know.
So,
I'll take
Saints?
the Saints.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the Saints. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep. Saints. Rubber Ducky also went Saints.
Yeah.
Rubber Ducky chose Niners as well.
Texans, Bengals.
Bengals. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna be
they're,
Bengals.
They're hot as hell.
They
It
are.
is the Bengals.
They're
the
the new.
Texans-
I'm not gonna pick them to lose until they do. Team,
If the
Yeah.
Texans win this game, I am a believer.
Yeah, if they
I'm a
win this
believer.
game.
dude, I do think they're gonna show up. Like it's
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
think
be
they'll
like
show
a
up.
very close game, but the Texans are not gonna get rolled over by the
Yeah.
Bengals for sure.
I agree.
I'm gonna
I don't
lock
think
the
that's true.
Bengals.
Oh.
Because you are forgetting that the Texans have definitely not shown up. Like as a team, they've not shown up. CJ Stroud has done well all year, but
Yeah.
as a team, they sometimes do not show up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rob?
hold on. They go ahead and pick them. Yeah, I'm just checking.
Rob is locking the Bengals, apparently, which I wanted to point out. If Rob loses this lock, he is now the worst lock streak of all time.
That's true. You continuously keep losing.
I don't
your
know
luck.
what the hell. Look at the games. We're already halfway through, and what team?
You are. Hold on. What is it? Oh, you're only 4-5 on locks. You just lost all of yours in a row.
Yeah, it's
so you
been
got
a
you
real
won the
bad
rest
run.
of them.
It's been
Yeah.
a bad run.
Well, he is, I believe, 4 in a row as of last week. And then the Jets was his lock this week, so that lost. And now it's 5. So which ties Randy at 5.
Yeah. Maybe
So-
I'm not locking them. We'll see. There might be
We'll
a
see.
one that we can battle for.
Yeah.
Oh, there is one that is very lockable.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
couple good locks this week.
Titans,
Yeah.
Buccaneers.
So the thing says I should pick the Bucks to win this game, but I don't. Am I a Will Levis believer?
This
I
is
don't know.
his second start.
I don't know.
Here,
I
right?
think
Third
Mayfield
start.
is.
Third start.
No, yeah, I'm the voodoo man. I'm gonna pick the Bucks to win because I think Mayfield is good.
I also
I-
think Mayfield is good.
I don't think the Bucks are good, but I think Mayfield is actually
Yeah.
underrated.
All right, let me go back to that arcane rune and try to decipher how I should vote based on.
Yep.
He's 3 and 5 predicting the Bucks this season. So
Yeah, I'm not good at I predict them back and forth every
Yeah.
game is what it is.
You know what?
I do think they're gonna win.
I'm going to go Titans.
Okay.
I think Will Levis is going to go crazy.
yeah, I'll go with the tits.
Our assistant coach went Titans as well. I think I'm gonna go Bucks this game. I think the Bucks are again a fine team, which in this current NFL is above
I
average.
think the problem is the Bucks have a very good run defense, so Derrick Henry ain't gonna be able to carry this one.
that's
True.
They
true
won't have to
too.
because Will Levis is going to ball out, dude.
This Will Levis could throw for like
It's-
400 yards
Yeah.
this game. I actually think that could happen.
So it's important to note it's divisional, but also Will
Not
Levis
divisional.
Not divisional.
it's
not even the same
divisional.
conference.
Not important to note. It is not in the same conference.
They are both in
And
the South, which is probably
and
what
they're
you're-
both in the south. Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, Tennessee barely.
yeah.
But also Will Levis has the kind of rookie benefit of nobody has any tape on him yet, too. So
They gotta tape him up.
yeah,
Yeah, I got
Tape
cover
them
again.
down.
Duct tape.
Yeah.
tape that man.
Yeah.
Tape that man. Lions, Chargers.
Lions.
Lions, yeah.
Lions.
Yeah, Lions.
Lions sweep the board.
Lions.
I
Sweep.
think this is gonna. I'm a little worried. This is one of those games the Lions are gonna lose for no fucking
It
reason.
very
though.
well could
I
be.
could see that happening. Yeah.
Falcons, Cardinals.
Robert Ducky has selected the Cardinals on
Oh.
Kyler Murray's return.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Falcons. I'm taking the Falcons because they finally are running. Like, look, they lost, but they still scored like 30 some odd points.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah,
true.
shitload. Yeah.
I will continue to take the Falcons here and assume because even if Kyler Murray comes back, he's gonna have like Deshaun Watson levels of fatigue of like he hasn't played in a very long time.
Yeah, that is true too.
Waska.
It's not very kind of you to
Ayahuasca.
include Kyler Murray in the same sentence as Deshaun Watson.
It's
by the way.
not. One is a serial rapist, the other just plays too much Call of Duty. So there's
that is
a
very
huge
true, yes.
difference
Yeah.
between the two.
Deshaun Watson didn't want to play though.
But
He's
hey,
just gotta
apparently
sit
the new
out.
Call of Duty sucks this year, so maybe
I heard
Kyler
that
Murray
too.
won't be distracted.
I mean, Call
Yeah.
of Duty has sucked for a very, very
It's not
long
Kyle
time.
of Duty, Robert.
Kyle of, Kyle
name.
of Duty. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
will
I'm
take
gonna
the
take
Falcons.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's telling me.
Kyler Murray.
Kyle
of Duty.
I think I will go with the Falcons too. Yeah, Falcons.
They're
All right.
birds. Bird battle.
Bird battle. Then we have
Not gonna Cowboys.
Giants.
Yeah, nah, figured it was
I let him
there.
say half of a word, okay? Like I did, I let it happen.
He could see the front
Yeah.
car door outside the window, so he was clear to call it.
Cowboys, everybody. Great.
Yeah.
Seahawks.
No, wait a second. We have to discuss this one. I'm just.
That is also
Yeah.
our assistant coach's lock.
Yeah.
Yep. Seahawks, Commanders.
Now, our assistant coach is also 7-0 at predicting Seahawks games, which I find.
Lock in the
Oh.
Seahawks.
Yeah, there you
Okay,
go, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I might.
I don't know either, dude. But what else is there? Who's gonna lock the Bengals against the Texans?
I
gonna-
will lock the Seahawks. Or sorry,
What?
not lock the Seahawks. yeah,
I'm gonna
confused.
I'm gonna take the Commanders.
Mm.
I'm gonna go
Wow.
for the upset.
Wow. You're gonna
I-
counterlock me. Counterlock me.
I do
When
that a
I'm-
lot this season.
when I have been on a loss streak. for-
I picked against you when you picked the Eagles and the Jets. I was right. I picked you against
Actually,
you.
I think I know what's happening. You are cursing me. That's what's going on. That's why I've been fucking.
Oh man, I love the conviction with which you came to that realization. Like that was
I
that's
see
my
what's
real
going
place.
on here.
I need to get some talismans and perhaps some sage.
Maybe
You
it's just your
crystals.
locks are dog shit. I don't know, man.
I mean, I have several crystals in my ass right now, but that clearly isn't working.
Yeah, I don't think
so-
that's doing what you wanted it to.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks. I think Gino's gonna rebound.
Geno season.
Geno
Geno season.
season. Yeah, it's Geno season.
it's not Gino. Give me the Commanders.
Geno.
Oh, guys, I think this might change your Cowboys Giants selections. The Dallas Cowboys are now signing Martavis Bryant to a contract.
Holy fucking blocking the Giants. No.
Hey, that's official. That's official. Verbal
No,
contract. That's legally binding. Legally binding.
You took your finger off the piece.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, Jets Raiders.
Ooh. boy.
Again, I don't know.
I'm gonna take the Raiders.
I'm gonna take the Raiders. I think they're the hot
Yeah.
hand with the coach firing.
Yeah. Oh, I keep forgetting about McDaniels. Yeah, it's definitely Raiders.
Yeah, is there any way that it would be funny for the Raiders to lose this game?
This could
No.
be a tie.
No, I
Could
don't
be a
think so.
tie.
I
Oh,
think
a tie would be hilarious.
would be
Yeah,
funny.
Tide would be kind of funny.
yeah, ties are always funny to be fair, but like
Yeah.
this one, I think in particular would be quite good. I also
You
feel
know
like
what?
the Raiders are like the good guy in the story right now, so nothing funny's allowed to happen to them at this point.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm. Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I say tie.
Whoa!
Oh my god.
baby,
He's
yeah.
called it.
First
Oh
tie of the
my
First
year.
tie of the
Tie
year.
Right here.
I love it.
Mhm.
That's a
It's
fantastic
possible.
thing.
It's a tie.
I can see it.
Could happen.
Oh, she's not happy about that.
And
I
then
think that was agreement.
Yeah, it's
maybe
stupid.
not.
There's
Yeah,
no way
it's
to
pretty
tie.
upsetting.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
The Jets have to score points to tie. Well, technically not actually. It could be
Yeah,
0-0.
that's
It
what
could
I'm
be 0-0.
saying.
Do you dare
Yeah,
call
see?
for a 0-0 tie?
I
I
would
Okay,
I would
never happened,
concede
right?
the entire season to you. I would
Yeah.
say you win the pick'em season if you called that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never happened, right?
In the history of the
know.
NFL, I don't know.
I don't think so, or at least not in the Super Bowl era.
I don't know if it's possible. There's so many
Yeah.
ways to score points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Through the entire course of NFL history, 73 games have ended 0-0.
And they were all
Wow.
before 1930.
I was gonna say,
probably.
right. Yeah, it's the Super Bowl.
That has
era.
not happened since Giants Lions in 1943.
Yeah.
Wow, so
Yeah.
That was
pre-Super
during
Bowl
the
era.
war. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have any players. They were fighting the Germans. So
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
There have also been 5 games that finished 2-0.
Oh yeah. That has occurred.
And the lowest scoring game in the post-merger history is 3-0 when the Minnesota Vikings defeated the Packers with a fourth quarter field goal by Fred
oh
Cox.
my god, it was in the fourth. That almost was 0-0.
It was almost
That's
0-0.
Horrible. What a horrible game
Um,
that must have been.
The most recent occurrence was 2007 during a torrential downpour when Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Miami Dolphins in a game that featured Jeff Reed kicking a 24-yard field goal with 17
This was
seconds.
wasn't this a mud game? I think.
I think so.
Isn't this the legendary Steelers mud game?
I think it might have been because Steelers Dolphins. Yeah, it was the mud game.
It was the Mud Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what the lowest score you can have to win the game is?
1
point. Technically,
Oh yeah. This is
There-
forbidden. You can't, Rob. You can't.
because
This is not
someone can eventually, and if we play football infinitely, someone will eventually lose the game 1-0.
It's the likelihood is like I don't.
It's basically impossible.
Do you
but
guys,
it can
do you guys
happen.
know
you-
how you
No.
score a point? Okay, so you have. Well, no, you can't. It can't be 1-0, right? Because you have to go for two.
No. It's because of how if they kick a long field goal and you return that.
No, that's a touchdown. No,
It's a
you're
touchdown.
No.
It would end.
If you kick a long field goal and then they catch it like a punt, then that's 1 point if they return it.
No, that's a touchdown.
I think that's the one.
No,
I'm
I
pretty
will
sure
tell
that's
you.
the one.
I'm pretty sure. No, it's a 2-point conversion safety. The score would have to.
Oh
end 6-1.
yeah. That's yeah.
You basically you get a touchdown, you go for 2, and then you fumble the ball and they return it all the way down the field, fumble it again, and then the other team recovers it for a safety in their own end zone.
Yeah.
On a 2-point conversion. That is how you score 1 point.
It has happened in college. It has occurred in college.
It's insane. It's even happened in
Yeah.
there.
The hypothetical is asinine.
So the moral of the story is this is not going to happen.
No.
So-
No, very unlikely. But it
Yeah.
would be so funny if this
It
is
would
the
be
first
funny.
game that is 1-0.
No, it can't be. It can only be 6-1. It can't be. You have to score a touchdown for
Yeah.
someone else to score a point.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So, in fact, it says because of the phenomenon, final scores of 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, and 7-1 are all not possible. So there you go.
Yeah.
Broncos Bills.
Bills. We just explained that this
Yeah.
is literally
Yeah,
a
it's the
playoff
Bills.
game for them.
I'm gonna go
essentially.
ahead and lock the Buffalo.
I think
there
that's
you
a
go.
good choice.
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought you were
going
going to say
Bills.
Broncos for a second.
No, I'm done with that. I did a couple of those the last 2 weeks. I think I'm good for a while.
That's fair.
I'm taking the Bills. I'm trying to figure out who to lock.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm going to lock the 49ers. I can't see them losing a fourth in a row.
That's honestly reasonable.
Yeah, and it's the Jaguars, so I can see them bumbling it.
Yeah.
So yeah. That sounded auto-tune.
Yeah, that did sound auto-tune. Like a flute.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that again if I tried.
Yeah.
How did you even do that?
I don't know.
Good
But
question.
Randy has selected the Bears. He has selected the Colts, the Ravens, the
Wow.
Packers,
Okay.
the 49ers,
Randy?
the Saints,
He's
Wow.
going mystical
the
mode.
Texans,
Okay, well then nice.
Oh, Randy!
Buccaneers,
Mhm.
Chargers,
I don't think these are necessarily bad picks.
Yeah, they could be.
Cardinals.
Okay, that one might be bad.
Here's the big one. He took the
Yeah.
Cowboys. He took the Cowboys.
Okay,
Wow.
he's safe.
Yeah. Commanders.
Hey, I picked that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Ew!
God damn it, Brett is counter locking my lock. Again.
He selected the Jets, everybody. He selected the New York Jets
Oh,
and the Buffalo Bills.
I think Randy's gonna have a good week.
Yeah,
agree.
I can see it. And the lock. Who did Rob lock?
The Seahawks.
The Seahawks. So it'd
2,
be
4, 6, 8.
it'd be 12, I think.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Randy is locking the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh my god. That's
Yeah.
gotta be a first lock of the card. That's
That's
gotta be
gotta
a
be-
lock streak or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Rob
has to be the
predicted
first
the
lock.
tie and the Cards
Well-
lock on Murray's return. This is a fun
I
week
think-
of pick'ems.
The Cardinals were 7 or 8-0 a few seasons ago, right? Like
True.
2020, 2019? I think it was
Something like that,
I think it was 2020. And then the Packers beat them and that snapped it. And then they missed the playoffs.
Yeah, and then they
yeah.
fucking spiraled and haven't been good since.
So that's probably the last time anyone's locked the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for Pick'ems. Thank you for listening, watching, everybody. Here's Patreon members. Go check out Patreon. Patrons. Here they are on the screen.
Look at them all. Look
Look
at
at
them
all
go.
those patrons.
Flying
on the
names.
screen.
Glendor animated each one individually. Wow, he spent so much time with this edit.
I've
Look at
spent
those
so much
details.
time on this Patreon list. So thanks, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
The rest of the orchestra didn't show up for the outro.
I'm not used to this. This is crazy.